Rumble. So can you go on X and just retweet it, please?
Alright, so
let's
introductions
run
again.
that
Yeah?
back.
All over again.
So just talk until then. You can tell them what happened.
Good morning, beautiful people. It is Friday, the 24th of January, 2025. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. Of course, we're hosted by the best, but we're going to show you who's in the building in a hot sec.
Because right now,
Hope everyone's good. Well, you wanted to interject when the camera can't even go on you?
yeah.
Thank you very much. Anyway, before we begin, guys, can you like the video, subscribe? We're on the road to 6K. I say we should have hit that that milestone a long time ago, to be fair. Recording every single day and whatnot. So people, share the video. Remember, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're obviously here on YouTube. Like up the video, please share the video. And yeah, man, we're going to get into some comments as well. And I'm mindful of the fact that the other day, we had this amazing asking for a friend. And in fact, Dr. Amani, who's in the building, you guys are going to see her. Obviously, you guys know who she is anyway. Our resident clinical psychologist. Yeah, there was a dilemma. And obviously, we read it, but obviously, we got distracted in it. So we're going to do that at the top of the show. And since we've got Gina in the building as well, we're going to get into that so we can have the female perspective because this woman really needed you guys' assistance as well.
Which one's that?
We're gonna get into it.
Okay.
You're gonna get into it. But basically, she's a clinical psychologist as well.
Okay.
So yeah, she wants to hear you guys' opinion. And we got some educated male guests in the building as well. They're gonna be
Talking about me. I failed every class.
Definitely can't be talking about me. Educated and other stuff. But yeah.
Nah, but you guys bring the facts only. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, be able to
It's
give
not
their
facts.
Huh?
The FACTS though, is it? It's FAXX. So,
same thing.
so technically,
Same thing.
it's a bootleg. No, I'm joking.
But yeah,
I'm joking. I like you guys.
But yeah, obviously we're gonna get into that. Let me say good morning to everybody in the chat. 1 second, people. I'm gonna do Brent's job. Good morning to Austin. Energy, big up Energy in the building. Always telling the people to like up the video and subscribe. Big up Bex. Good morning, Christy, the queen of BOE. Good morning, T. Good morning, Susanna F. Good morning, Ree. Big up Ree. Big up Abimi. Lewis Williams. Big up Everest. Big up Pris. Big up Chijoke. Big up Mercy. Big up Muley Bell. Big up Crud Crow. Big up Izzy Bambino. Big up Natty. Big up NAPT. So guys, yeah, long story short, yeah, we were recording a bit earlier and Brent messed up. He didn't press the record button, the live button. So we were just chatting to ourselves basically in it. So he's going to make a few amendments and come back. Also, yesterday, Gina, did you watch yesterday's show?
No.
No. Do you watch the show when we're not here? When you're not here?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, there were some gems that were dropped by Juliana, one of your faves.
Yeah, I missed it.
You need to go back and listen to that, man. That was an amazing show. And I urge everybody as well, if you want to get into property, if you care about stocks and shares, in fact, we're going to bring her back to discuss those stocks and shares thing. But if you care about property, the different ways to get into property, rent-to-rents, service, everything, like HMOs and owning properties yourself, buy-to-lets, everything, listen back to yesterday's episode. We had Juliana from Property by Jules in the building, and she was dropping gems all over the damn place, man. So make sure you tune into that one. Brent, you back?
Good morning. My apologies. The date's even wrong.
You don't need to say good morning to everybody in chat. I've done that already, by the way.
Oh, serious?
Yes.
All right then. Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sorry. So we've got Emmanuel. We've got oh wow, stranger.
If I throw,
Introduce yourself.
if
Danger.
I throw this tea
Stranger
at your head,
danger.
no, don't do that.
All right, get your shit off. Go on.
Brent annoyed me because Brent made me come. I came here on Monday, bright and early. Yeah, do your face like that. Bright and early. Got here, knocked on the door. nothing. I'm even thinking, okay, because usually if he's not in here, he leaves it open. He comes up from the house. The house. This nigga ain't ever come up from the house.
I
can tell you.
£2, ain't it? Said the N-word. Or am I bugging?
Anyway,
I was gonna say it, but
he comes out the house, and I can tell he either just woke up here or like I startled him, and he's like, "There's no show." I said, "Sorry." He said, "Oh yeah, there's no show."
They didn't give you a little reminder?
No. He was like, "I didn't think you were coming in today." I said, "Okay, so," and you know what? Yeah, usually I'd pop my ish off. But I said, you know what, it's a new year.
Yeah,
So you saved it.
I didn't bother
Very
asking.
strange. Yeah.
I literally, like, I just got back in my car. My mouth was silent. I just sat in my car and I like, you know when you punch the air? So angry. And then I thought, because realistically, yeah, if whenever I'm not in, yeah, I will let you know that I'm not coming in.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So you saying I didn't think you were coming in, I'm thinking, why would you not think I'm coming in? Because I haven't told you that I'm not coming in.
Can you remember the conversation we had before you left?
Yeah.
What was
I
it?
said I might come in. I'm back on Thursday, depending on how I feel. I might come in on Friday. Today's Monday, babe. It's Monday. So if I said, do you know what I mean? It's a whole new week.
I didn't even know
Also-
where you went, where you were. I don't follow your socials like
Well-
obviously.
Well, that's
Kim
on
Jinx did.
that's on you because you're meant
That's
to be
on me.
Yeah, because you're meant to be my friend. I told you I wasn't going. I wasn't going to be here anyway. Let's even remove that from the thingy majig. Yeah, you could have put it in the group that we have. That there's no show on Monday.
I told
Like you actually could have, because when you want to send in the discussions and the guests, you know where to put it, don't you? You know where to say, oh, by the way, guys, this is this week's
not
show.
True. That's not me. That's Emmanuel.
Well, whoever is responsible for saying that there was no show didn't communicate.
it seems
that.
a bit built up.
Yeah, and it seems like you've directed it in the wrong place as well.
No.
Okay, and it's too early to be this angry.
No, it's
when
not.
She went back in the car.
It's
now
not.
the
Do
energy
you know
that we're
why?
getting.
Because this is Monday, isn't it? Today is Friday, so it's been building.
You had a good session at the gym that day,
It's
though.
been
Because he's angry.
marinating.
You must have.
So,
Yeah, but
but
that's besides the point.
is Brent not someone who's quite helpful to your life
Excuse me.
and beneficial?
Excuse me.
I'm just curious because I don't know your relationship.
Wait. Yeah, usually
So don't you think it's okay to give him the benefit of the doubt for one mistake?
it's not a benefit of the
That
doubt
was the
thing.
mistake.
Do you know what it is? There wasn't even, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. It was literally like, did you apologize?
I said.
No, you
darling,
didn't.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
No, you did, Brent, you didn't.
Oh, you decided to cut that bit out.
You
'Cause
didn't.
You were so frustrated.
No, you
All
didn't.
you heard was
No.
what? What did you hear?
No,
What did
when I was
say?
walking away, what did you say when I was walking away? He said, damn it. Like you said,
Because he knew he'd hear about this again. He knew this wasn't the end of it.
you said, what did you say? It's
That's
one,
not what I
there's a
said.
phrase that you say. It's annoying me because I don't remember it, but
That
you
don't
said it
even
when I was
sound
getting in
like
the
a
car.
Caribbean saying.
Because I didn't say it.
What did you say? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You
I
said
know what
something.
you're talking about.
What did you say, please? You're not gonna. You know why you're not. You know why you're
But it
not.
looked like he had a fantastic
But my point
time
is, he
in
knows that
Greenland.
he said something when I was walking away, so he knows. I just got in my car. I just said, you know what? It's fine.
So how was Greenland? How was Greenland?
It was fine, thank you.
Did you go to Greenland?
No,
Interesting.
I went to Sweden.
What did you go to Sweden for?
It was
Learn for the first time.
You really? So you haven't seen anything? Wow. Okay, fair enough. I went. It was a brand PR trip with Red Bull to Sweden
Sick.
to do a zero excuses boot camp.
I remember that one, man.
It wasn't nice.
No?
Was that what you were getting in the tub?
Yeah.
And I saw that. Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? Yeah, it really reminded me that like my ancestors are not Vikings. Like that whole
Some
experience.
of mine are.
I love that for you because how my peers like dealt with certain situations compared to me, I was like, yeah, man, our roots are grounded in different soil. Clearly,
This is what I was saying to Brent the other day when I said to him, listen, you know when you get those situations where, would you take £1 million to go to Antarctica and stay in certain conditions? I said to him, I wouldn't do it. Because I know I wouldn't make it back.
No, but you would. Do you know why? Yeah, like it's mental resilience. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of things happened on that trip that like forced me to come out my comfort zone. Like I talk about how much I hate running. I hate running with every bone in my body. Like you couldn't pay me enough. Do you get what I mean? But there was so much running. I wanted to slip my wrists, but I had to do it.
You're a bit dramatic, isn't it?
Very,
Oh, okay.
like very.
But I've
It's part
seen
of
your
the brand.
classes and I've seen what you put people through.
I know, but it's you know how running's a completely different. It's a different sport, man. I can do what I do, and I'm good at what I do. But like running, I will put my hand up and tell you, get somebody else to do it. But I had to. in like hills in snow, 9 kilometers. You know when you're just, this is what I'm saying.
That's torture.
And everyone I was with are like elite runners. So I'm the weakest link, and I'm
Don't
black.
like that, do you?
So again,
I
like,
got add the black part.
no, because do you know what I realized? Yeah, like when I'm in those spaces, yeah, I feel like there's an added pressure to represent. I don't know. It's an internal thing, obviously,
Oh, that's good to
But
know.
you said after a while it wasn't that cold though.
because I got used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I didn't still struggle. Like, and it's like knowing that you're with people who this is their natural, like, and you know how they love it. Them lot, they really love it. Like,
What, running or the cold?
both. They're just so excited. They want to like
Who's them lot, by the way?
our peers.
Okay, well done.
You know what I mean? Our peers. So they that are, yeah, they love it. So I'm just like, and I kept. They kept saying, "Oh, you're so funny," because obviously I talk with my face a lot. But I feel like we all do that. Do you know what I mean? It's a thing that's like within our like community. It's normal. So I just the rolling of the eyes, but you know when I don't realize I'm doing it. So I was just like really enjoying how much I disliked what was going on.
But they were saying that you were funny, like
Yeah, like, oh my
you were
gosh.
like, no, this is serious.
No,
It's my
yeah,
life.
I
Like,
wasn't.
I'm not trying to. I'm not joking.
No, it wasn't.
It's my life.
Literally, but they just were like, "Oh, you're so funny." I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. But yeah, I really got stretched and pushed out of my comfort zone, and I love that for me.
We thank God. I noticed that you guys didn't introduce yourselves the second time around. So guys, can you introduce yourself to the people?
Chinks want to go first.
Feels plastic now, though, man. I'm the beige guy. I'm Kid's friend. We've got a podcast called Facts Only, and yeah, man, I'm the tallest in the room. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm Kid. I'm the shortest in the room. Yeah, part of Facts Only. 2 other guys with us, so there's 4 in total. Me and Chinks got our own show, Kid and Chinks. Yeah, we're here representing that today, man. I'm the short guy. That's it. Beige guy, short guy, tall guy. You know.
Can I ask you a question? Why are you called Kid? Is it because you're short?
Do you know why I'm called Kid? I'll be honest with you. See, when I was in school, yeah, I used to throw stones a lot. I used to throw. Then it got to a stage where I throw anything. People were like, "You're such a kid," and it just stuck in me. And obviously, because I'm short as well, it kind of. Because I got multiple kids. There's a lot of reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Where were you throwing the stones? Were you throwing them at people?
People, cars. I even smashed the window outside of school, a car. And then the person came into the assembly the next day and picked me out. I was like, yeah, it was that guy there.
Oh, wow.
And then I had to own up to it.
Wow. So it was a serious thing.
Very serious.
She's analysing you.
No, I was interested.
I need it.
But the questions you asked were, I see what you did there.
Small.
Wanted to get to the root cause.
So how many children do you have?
6. Biological.
What, for real?
Yeah.
And I said, for real.
Do you know I'm surprised? Because I feel like I watched you on another pod and you didn't say the number. Like they asked you and you didn't want to say the number.
Yeah, because why do you need to know?
Yeah, and I was gonna message you and I thought, you know what, let me not be that person because I was intrigued when you were like you don't want to say. I thought, oh,
Yeah, why do you say no? And obviously my partner's got 3, so in total I got 9. Yeah.
so you and your partner have 6.
And I've got 3 elsewhere. And she had 3 prior.
He's good at not listening, innit? Because he answered your question incorrectly. Because you said you and your partner have 6,
We
but she
do.
meant together.
How many do you and your partner have together?
That are
3.
both biological. Yeah.
Okay, so you have 3,
Okay.
and then you have 3 outside of her.
Yeah, and she
has 3
3
outside of
prior,
you.
yeah.
Got it. And how long you been together?
Coming up to 6 years.
And how old are you? Sorry, I'm just being nosy.
37. I don't look at her, do I?
No.
I like that. I got an 18-year-old. He turned 18.
Damn.
18. Really?
Big up, man. He's doing his driving lessons.
Amazing. Love that for him. Amazing work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But you don't have any, do you, Chinks?
That's kind of offensive. Yeah, of course I do, man.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
All
I've
right,
got a
then.
daughter, man. She's 14 going on 30.
Why is it offensive?
'Cause I don't know. I think like it's a privilege to have kids and for you to have children, a woman has to see value in you.
Is it?
So to automatically assume I'm someone who has no value and I'm not a virgin, everyone's just having abortions for me. Like,
I'm sorry.
How he got here.
I don't know how you got there, but it's interesting. Like, your take is interesting.
yeah, don't you? You reach this age in South London walking around and you don't have any children yet.
So, question: do you think that that's the same for women, though? Like, would you have that same? Because you basically, like, remember what you've said. Would you apply that same
Logic.
logic to women?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah, yeah.
If I meet a woman nearing those latter ages and you don't have children,
What's the latter age, by the way?
35 upwards,
Okay.
and you don't have children, I'd think Not there's nothing wrong with you, but
Hold on.
Got step steady.
No, you don't have to step steady. Hold on.
I don't even know your age.
Exactly.
I don't
be,
even have children
be free.
either.
You
Yeah.
see you. you see you. Wait,
But women
you
have more of a choice.
You see
than men do.
today, you're gonna catch these hairs. By the end of this show, I promise you. Sorry,
Where was I?
you said you wouldn't think there's something wrong with you, but
I think what's up to a degree, and
Okay.
not what's up. I think your interests. I like motherly women, innit? I know my mum had a good relationship with my mum. I saw the sacrifices and just what she made for us and stuff like that. And I liked growing up being my mum's main priority because I didn't go nursery. She kept me with her as much as she could. So women who hit that age, you have an interest greater than wanting to nurture kids, I suppose. And I could be wrong, but that's just the way I view it.
okay. I don't agree, but
What do you agree with?
not wanting to nurture kids. Because I'm 35, so I'm basically the person you're talking about, right?
No, not even. You're
Brent-
Jane, though. You're special.
I need the headphones.
Listen. Because that EFA, you've done it twice. You've done it twice.
Yeah, but it's by choice for you though.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, of course. But I feel like, isn't it by choice for anyone? Like,
No, absolutely not.
why
do you
not?
mean?
Why do you believe that with me?
As a
it's
man,
by
it's
choice?
not. As a man,
No,
it's not by
women.
choice. Yeah,
Let's
for,
not-
yeah, for women. Obviously, I can't speak for women, but you're the advocate for it. So
Yeah.
I'm saying for you, it's by choice. It has to be. You're an attractive woman.
Thanks.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure you got people in the DMs.
Sorry.
Are you in my DMs about me?
I suppose you're more career driven then, innit?
No, but you know what? It's not that though, because I don't think.
I find it so interesting when people say this.
But I'm willing to be wrong, though.
No, because I think, okay, what you're saying, there could be an element of truth in it, but then there's probably a million other reasons.
Yeah, but I don't really
that-
care about those,
I know,
though.
that-
Because I want a mother for my child.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But what if they just haven't met the person that they think?
What if
okay,
they have and they
I
don't,
could actually
and they're not
have it?
interested in that person?
Okay, then that's a different story.
What do you mean
Then
they're
that
not
would
interested in
be-
that?
That's how I feel like your situation is.
Well, I've met guys and I'm just not interested in them.
Yeah.
And I think the more people you meet, the more experiences you have, what makes it more difficult to be happy with someone.
I don't.
I'm telling you that as a person who slept with a load of people, I've had issues.
See, that's the right time. That
but
makes sense.
I have an issue. I can admit that there's times when I have an issue of being satisfied by one person sexually because I've had so many experiences to compare it to. If I could go back and knock a few off and have a simpler life and avoid a lot of issues, I would.
Fair enough.
We'll come back to that.
She got a notepad out. She's writing the notes down. Mental notes.
It's gonna be a good show, man.
All right. So Sweden, it was great, fantastic. You do it again?
Yeah,
You'd recommend it to anybody?
100%. And I
What was
think it being at the beginning of the year really helped as well.
Okay. So you're ready to go.
Literally.
Oh my god.
Like, no one's my mate. I have a
talking about?
round.
Level. Somebody came on yesterday, a guest, and she's never met you, but she said she's so inspired by you.
Yeah, I know her husband. Sorry.
Wow.
I know, like that.
No,
That
not
was
like that.
I know, but it just sounds.
I gave you.
like
Did it really?
There was enough time to fill in the gap.
No, as in we went to college together.
Does that help?
You know
Does that help?
what? You know what you need to. No, as in like, do you know what it is? Maybe because in my head I know what I'm saying. Like I know him. Like he's like Gloria's family. You know, Gloria, family friend.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
we grew up together, kind of thing. Like in passing.
Lead with that then.
Okay, sorry. So that's more what I mean. As in like, I've never met her personally, but I know.
My mind didn't go there. But
No, mind you.
honestly.
If I met him for the first time, he's like, "Oh, I know your missus." I'd be like,
Whoa.
Really?
I need one of them Brent sounds, yeah.
Really? Of
course.
But do you know what?
I
Do you
just-
know what it shows? We're innocent.
Like, obviously.
That's what it is.
Of
Because
what? Sorry.
We're innocent.
That wouldn't cross my mind.
If someone said to me, "Oh, I know your man," I'm not gonna think straight away, "How do you know my man?"
"But what type of woman is it that will say that though?"
There you go. Yeah.
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, cool. So, what was the best thing you did?
Best thing after the ice bath
Why was it the best thing?
because it was insane.
I just show chinks like this now.
That man was
What did I say? What?
Let me show it to you.
pulling you
No,
out. Look,
show me
he
what.
was.
He had to though.
Oh.
Do you know why it was? It was so frustrating coming out because at that point I couldn't feel my toes. It was really, really cold, and I just needed to come. Brent, are you coming to play it and have my cheeks all up on the camera?
What I'm gonna play? I didn't have a clue. That's what I was gonna play.
Did you have to wear
Oh,
that?
is he playing the video?
This is a
The
morning
thing
show,
is,
babe.
it's a morning show. I don't care because my
damn it.
cheeks are on the internet anyway, so it is what it is.
He's
But
watching it right now.
Did you have to wear that?
yeah, because can I ask you a question? Would you go in a swimming pool with clothes on?
I'd go in this.
There it is.
Oh, I would
With-
no. So
Let me see
again,
it.
I didn't have any other clothes because they told us to
you're
bring
right.
swimwear for the sauna. So the sauna's behind. So
Can I
I
ask you a quick
bought-
question? Sorry to cut
Yeah.
you. Are you happy with your body?
It's all right. Sorry. You know, the thing is, you can't ask someone like me because, unfortunately, I'm gonna be the most critical. I'm gonna be the most critical of my body because I see it every day, and I guess because I know what I look like when I'm at my best, and I know that I'm not at my best. So to everybody else, your bodies, do you know what I mean? But to me, there's a lot of things I can still do to improve it.
Do you know
But
what women would kill for your body?
I know because I got a lot of that feedback. And again, I didn't put it out there with that being the intention, if you get what I mean. Like, you know how like if I'm doing like a challenge or something to push and promote something, I know how to put my best foot forward.
Okay.
That wasn't what that was. And the crazy thing is, even with that, I was so critical of that video that like, I'm not going to say it out loud because you're going to think I'm mad, but like there's points where I'm just like, do you know what I mean? I can pinpoint those moments and you're going to think, are you okay? Like, it's not something that you're going to see, if you get what I mean.
A man that's gonna take you seriously is gonna be very difficult.
A man
Just
is
for how you're so critical about yourself. A man coming into your life, yeah, he's gonna be in problems.
Why?
Just as how you are now. Just saying.
Damn,
was that a
Daniel.
compliment?
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't feel like that was a compliment.
No, it's not.
understand what that was about.
It wasn't a
It
compliment.
wasn't.
Oh.
I didn't feel like
Oh,
it was.
what did you mean?
Because how
I
she,
like you, you
because
know.
of how she is,
You make people accountable.
a man coming into her life, he's got a lot to deal with.
Oh,
Well,
A lot to deal
okay.
with
Yeah, of course.
Why?
because
So
she
let her
is-
do it because you're too aggressive. Go on.
Who's too aggressive? Me?
Yeah, listen to her tone.
Am I aggressive?
No, go on. Watch the
I like how
conversation.
you just done that.
No, wait, hold on.
Just watch the dialogue. Go
happening?
on.
See, this is what I don't like. It's because she's got a nice, soft voice.
She understands how men operate and how
Oh,
to
so
get.
I'm being
You put him on the
aggressive.
I'm
defensive.
it's just how it
Wow. Is this okay? No, be
Are you
more
single? If you know what I'm
soft-spoken.
asking.
I am single, yeah.
Okay. By choice?
By choice. I never know what people. As in, like someone has come in my life, I don't like them, and I've said no.
That's your answer already. All of that.
Is that what you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I've not met anyone that I would want to be in a serious relationship with.
Jean, what about you? I feel like I'm the therapist today. Single by choice?
I don't know if it's by choice. I say because ideally I'd like to like, do you know what I mean? Settle down, out the game, married, kids, the whole 100%. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it's by choice because my choice would be to be in that situation. However, I don't think the options, or let me take accountability of my choices.
Oh, that's fantastic. How
Yeah. Like I can take accountability. Like I don't think I've made the best choices.
So does your partner have to be fitness inclined?
Nope. And even if you look at people I've dated, I've not dated a gym guy.
Okay.
So I'm not.
So I'll take back what I said then, because when I said about being critical, I'll take it back.
Oh, you thought okay. So you
Yeah.
thought meaning he'd have to live up to a very high standard. Not
Yeah.
at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
That's just. I'm only like that to myself. I'm not like that with other people.
Oh, fair enough.
Chinks, obviously you're going to be part of this TMB family very soon. So these type of comments need to clean up as soon as it's out in the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You just said that Gina is more aggressive than the light skin.
I didn't even add the black element to it. I just made that off analysis what was happening in the room.
I'm just saying. There's a comment here now, innit? So you can.
Big up Nadia, man. I appreciate your comment. And if I've offended you in any way, I apologize. My intentions are pure. I just thought that the way the conversation was flowing, what's your name, sorry?
Amani.
Amani would get more out of my fellow friend who I knew and who I know very well, or in his communication style, would get more out of the conversation than Jean's approach. That's all. I didn't even notice she was a black woman as well, to be honest. So that wasn't even in my mind when I said what I said. So apologies.
But you know what? That's so interesting because I feel like I know how I am in it. But you know when someone like calls
Outside
it out, it's kind of like sorry. It's not a
Because I
bad
don't
thing.
know you though, innit?
No,
So
it's
that's
not.
why.
It's not a bad thing. But like, this is just my personality, innit? But it's
There's
fun.
nothing wrong with it though.
It's just funny that like when you were like you're being aggressive. I thought,
Can I ask then? You know when you said something about my tone, do you think I'm doing that on purpose because
I didn't really think about it in that
no,
much depth.
no, okay, because the comment was something like she knows how to speak to a man or with a man,
Yeah.
or the best way to
Like
get out.
I think your communication style with men is a bit better than.
But it's not because it's just how I am though.
What do you mean?
No, the insinuation I'm taking is that I'm doing that because I'm like, okay, I'm talking to a man and I want to get the best out of him, but it's just how I talk. It wasn't.
So you're
it's
not passive aggressive.
I'm not passive aggressive. Everyone can be passive aggressive. Of course, I can be passive aggressive. Yeah.
No, I don't think you're changing your whole communication
Okay,
style
fair.
just to
Okay.
appease him. I think just the way you are naturally, men of a typical demographic, you'd probably get more out of them than someone who'd had a more abrasive tone. Am I wording that correctly?
I'm all about delivery, so I know what you're saying. How
The
you,
thing is, there's something in this, right? Because I think if Gina was a doctor in psychology and she had been exposed to clients, and she knows that different communication techniques would obviously, facilitate with conversation, blah blah blah. I think that she would be a bit different. I don't think she's in that field at all.
So it's not necessary. The
Like-
field.
like when
she's
I talk,
in,
I abrasive as hell, right? You know what I'm saying?
Now it's annoyed me because now I'm like, oh, I can't bust with you anymore.
I know you can.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, your brand
No,
is your
but
brand.
what I was gonna say is also remember I'm in like. You're right, but I also think the reason why I'm a bit more around is because I've always been around men. I've always been in male-dominated spaces. Do you get what I mean?
So it's a man's fault.
No, wow.
Just checking. That's what your point was.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I've always been around. Excuse me, bravado, and like, do you get what I mean? So I've just naturally adopted that as well. I'm not blaming men.
No, I'm joking. There's nothing wrong with it though. It's just knowing how I am from women. Like, say, my mum was like,
Soft.
no, my mum was rough and tough, and like, I'm used to that, and I know how to handle that. So that's comforting for me, and I know how to manage that.
Okay.
But then I came across someone who wasn't like that, and it wasn't until they said something that made me realize. We were talking, they was like I know how to approach a subject with you to get from you what I want from you. She makes a safe arena, and then before I know it, I kind of feel a bit manipulated. It's that I'm having conversations I didn't know I was having.
She created
about that the other day.
She created a safe space.
It's disarming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's disarming because I don't know. That's new to me, so I don't know
was
how
new
to
to
stop.
me too.
I don't know your moves. So
Yes.
yeah, all right, so you
I
understand?
don't feel like that.
Yeah, I'm talking about my traumas. I don't even want to do. That's not what I came here for.
Love being.
So, yeah.
No. Not yet.
What's that? oh.
but I feel like if Gina knew how to speak a certain way, I don't think she would do it anyway.
No, but she's capable
Why?
of it though.
I just don't think
I
you
don't
would.
think she's.
Why?
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Not like you can't speak a certain way, but I
But
still,
why do you not
I
think
feel
I
like
will?
if you had the choice to speak soft or speak
She's
hard,
very gentle. Like very.
Do you know what's
gentle.
really interesting? You know, I have a completely
Very
like
gentle.
the version of me that only a select few see is like so different to the version that everybody else sees. Like, do you get what I mean?
so you can't blame us then for thinking.
No, I'm not. But I guess again, it's trauma linked, innit? Do you know what I mean? So like,
I'm not
for
even
me-
saying you're aggressive.
No.
though, by the
But
way,
I'm
you
just
know.
saying, like, I know the reason why I'm the way I am. I'm very self-aware, so I know that in order for me to be that version that, and Brent has seen that, like, do you know what I mean? But it's like with you talking about creating a safe environment, and like for you to let your guard down. Like growing up, I always felt like I had to like have a wall up, even from like primary school. Do you get what I mean? So like I've always said like I was the kid in school. I used to bully people, not because I even wanted to bully them, but I was fat, and I was like, it was always a, you know what? Let me get them before they get me. I was very insecure, and I was, do you know what I mean? I was an overweight child, and people used to pick on me and bully me, even from my siblings. So like I naturally thought, you know what? If I'm aggressive, if I'm loud, if I'm boisterous, they're gonna think twice before bullying me, and that's just kind of how I navigate through
Let me
life.
ask you a question, yeah? So do you still see yourself as, I don't want to say that word, overweight person?
I think not entirely. However, I know that I haven't killed that version of me, if you get what I mean.
Do you feel you need to though? That's a part of your journey and who you are. Like, why would you want to kill that?
Because I feel like sometimes it's self-sabotaging. Do you know what I mean?
What is?
Because you're thinking like I look at myself with a lens that is very like outdated. I'm no longer that person. Do you get what I mean? I don't look like that person.
Though.
And the way I used to critique myself back then, I guess I had more of a reason to do it. Whereas now, I've come out from that space, so I should really change my approach. Do you get what I mean?
Sorry to be sexist, yeah, but like I heard a white man say this. Like women, typically you're not pleased. Do you know what I mean?
And you know what?
Like there's women with straight hair that buy curlers with curlers straight in the hair. You cut your eyelashes off, put fake ones on. Like innately, I think some women, there's always, I don't. Maybe it's a good thing because you're constantly trying to improve, but you're never like settled and easy. I've seen fat women want to be skinny. I've seen skinny women want to lose weight. Like it's just, I don't know what it is, but because I think what's the word? Outside approval is so important to you lot that you're constantly trying to improve. And I'm saying some women, not all, before I get attacked.
No, I think it's fair to say that women more care about their appearance than men. Is it just down to them as individuals? No, like we're pushed with a message all the time, aren't we, from young about the beauty industry kills off us. Every single part of our bodies, down to eyelashes, is monetized and told that we're in some way this is not good enough, or now this is the trend and you need to do that. Literally, I don't feel I can think of a part of my body that isn't in some way advertised as not good enough and I need to change every single part of it. So you said innately, so I'm like, okay, I think part of it could be that, you know, you might grow up in a certain environment, whatever, but then you can't ignore that there's a message that's just like there all the time.
You know what's mad, yeah? Like, you know, like Bloods and Crips, yeah? You know, like there's like, you can't tell a Crip to stop killing Bloods because a Blood killed one of his Crip brothers. Do you get what I mean? But at some point, for this war to stop, someone has to be the bigger person and nip this in the bud. So I noticed, like, when you approach someone with issues they have, they always tend to explain why they're that way instead of wanting to address the actual issue you have. So the fact that we're the most marketed to generation there's ever been.
100%.
Do you get what I mean? So in terms of for us to get better and have more self-esteem and self-confidence, yeah, all that stuff's there, but we still need to...
Oh, I agree with you.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Right,
like,
cool.
I think, like, you can acknowledge these things. Like, I can acknowledge, okay, cool, I've been told that I need to, like, BBLs are popping, yeah? And like, that's the message. But I can take a personal responsibility and be like, actually, no, that doesn't even align with how I actually want to live my life. So I'm not doing that. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think it's...
Because I don't like that. I've got a daughter and I
things.
don't want to have all them insecurities
Of
and
course.
worry about someone else's opinion more than her own of herself and stuff like that. That's quite sad and depressing, like, do you know what I mean?
It's very depressive, very
And I
sad.
can't walk your shoes. I'm glad they're not mine because, like, I have a big nose and big nostrils. After going to school for like 2 weeks, I had to kind of come to terms with it because I heard it so many times. Like, do you get what I mean?
And it's crazy because I wouldn't have never said that or thought that.
Okay.
And I've
She's
been
gonna lie to my face.
No, I'm not even lying.
I'm
That's not
joking.
the first thing I thought when I saw you. Do
that's
you know what I
good.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
All right. We got asking for a friend. I'm going to start the show with asking for a friend.
Yes. Sorry. Nothing. Before you say I'm aggressive, isn't it?
Oh my God.
I would never say that, Gina, as you know.
No, but it is what it is. It's fine.
No, but sorry, before you move on, there's nothing wrong with the way you are.
No,
it just means that your particular partner has to be someone who meshes with you.
No, the thing is, I can't be a soft-spoken babe anyway.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not who I am. And like, I'm never even going to try it. So, like, even reading the comments, everyone's like, they know about throat tapping Gina. I'm like, that's my brand. They know who I am. We talk about it. So
Yeah, my grandma was like that. She's very like masculine and hard and says how she feels. And my granddad was the soft guy who didn't mind her wearing the trousers, and it worked amazing. They had the longest relationship I ever know. If she would have spent her life trying to change who she was, she might not have been so happy. So,
but also though, yeah. Remember when we had that conversation with his name's gone out of my head. And we're talking about wanting to be soft and how life sometimes doesn't really allow you to be soft. So because of that, you've become hardened, and then it's just kind of like been your default setting.
Yeah.
But anyway, time limit time.
Okay. You want to read that?
You're not gonna do the button.
We press it. Yeah.
Are you happy? Hey, lovely people. Sorry, after I wrote it, I realised how long it is. I can never all in live due to call in live due to work. I just wanted to add another perspective that's not London-centred. I've just turned 37. I'm a black single woman who's done well in my career. I earn about 65k, which I'm happy with, and have worked as a clinical psychologist for the last 13 years. I'm actively working to support and improve mental health outcomes in the black community, especially black families. It's been interesting listening to conversations that people have about people like me and the assumptions that are made regarding being a little bit older and single. I truly believe that there is a large group of women like me who've done what people say you're supposed to do in your life, to get married. I'm one of them. I do believe that it is a generational thing for people around my age and a little bit older. From about the age of 15, I lived in Hertfordshire. I still live there now. There were and still not many black people where I live. I've always wanted children. I actually wanted a large family. I'm not a flaky person. I'm quite level-headed, geeky and down to earth. I don't believe in buying designers, but black owned. I get my nails done. I'm curvy, 5'4", not big. I gym. I wear my hair in braids or out natural, which is quite long, mid-backish. I wear some makeup, quite like coverage, but never can do lashes. I've tried and it doesn't work for me. But anyway, I'm just not a makeup girly, but just to provide a picture. I was not allowed to date when I was in college and never had a boyfriend then. At uni, I went with the view that... Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
At uni, I went with the view that I'm going to find my husband. I did get into a relationship at uni, but when we graduated, he wanted to sow his wild oats. Moving on and growing older, I would go out at every opportunity, go to events, etc., with the hope of meeting a man to have an intentional relationship with. I would always enter situations being clear that I'm not in for anything casual. I'm not expecting commitment and a serious relationship within the first couple of dates, but moving with intention. But I was always out. When dating apps became more popular, I joined them. I spent years going on dates and spent periods of time just not wanting to talk to men due to some hurtful behaviours from them. I've never had a hoe phase and I don't plan to. The last guy I went on a date with had poor hygiene and I've no idea what he was doing in life. Age 40, by the way. The guy before that lied and hid 2 children from me. Men that I have met online, despite saying and making it clear that I don't want anything casual, have approached me and just wanted sex or were flaky. I learned not to entertain these men. I've had guys tell me that they like talking to me and want my attention, or men at ages 40 and 45 that say they don't know if they want children or to get married. I'm quite intentional, so I have these conversations early on. I've also had men just mess me around. I naturally have grown a lot over the years, done a lot of self-evaluation, reflection. I've been told by men that I have dated in the past that I'm a kind person, attractive, smart and easy to get on with and get to know. My friends, both men and women, who are married, say that I attract some of these men because I'm secure and it's something that they want and they don't have. Apparently, I also have one of those faces that is easy to talk to. When I'm out and about, people do just randomly talk to me. I've heard many life stories on the train and journeys from strangers. I'm not insecure. I know I'm intelligent, but also really value hearing different perspectives and ideas from people. I'm not above reproach and I'm not a perfect person. At the end of the day, I'm confident in who God made me to be. There are slim pickings of black men where I live, and this makes it more difficult. I work in a female-dominated industry, and it's hard to meet black men who would like to settle down. I fear I'm now jaded and tired, and I don't hate men. I have a family full of amazing men and don't care for the gender wars. I think it's useless and not helpful for black people, actually quite detrimental. Despite my love and work for the black community, I fear I'm likely to venture out of dating just black men as I need to widen my scope. But who knows? I'm conscious of my age and the stereotypes that people have about people like me. I suppose I just wanted to share my experience and thoughts about something that a lot of people who are not in this situation speak so confidently of. Now I have no choice but to climb the ladder as whose house will I live in, whose money am I going to spend on holiday and buy food with? How can I not spoil my godson and nephews? I love them. Not sure what my dilemma is. Maybe it's just to share the experiences, which is hurtful, but maybe share your thoughts and reflections. The end.
You can tell she's employed, boy.
I feel like she's searching for it too much. I feel like that's the issue she's having, because she's searching for it. Don't search for it.
That's crazy.
What's crazy?
At her age, though,
Don't look for what you need or want.
Yeah, but if it's gonna come to you, it'll come to you. If it's meant to
After
be,
all
it's
she
meant to be.
said there,
That's
you
what I
done
heard.
what she's already getting men. Clearly, the men that she's getting is not what she wants, first and foremost. So the type of, because there's options there, you're just not happy with your
Your
options.
product of your
want better.
environment, whatever you got
No,
around
it's
you,
not even
that's
that
what you have to take.
No, not even that way. So basically, the type of man you want, you're not attracting, innit? So you have to look at who you are. Do you
Other
know what I mean?
demographics.
So all the stuff that, the accolades and stuff you're listing, the type of men that you want, that's not attracting them, innit? That's what I got from the gist of it.
Fair.
Because the men that she seems like she's coming across are like, I don't want to be rude, but kind of like look like hygiene and hiding kids. That's like low level. So for your main attributes that you have out there attracting men are attracting this type of man. So maybe
Yeah, but a lot of men will run off when her approach is, because
Yeah,
her,
of course.
her approach and saying, I want to settle down, I want this, I want that, I make 65k a year and
that's not a bad thing though.
It's not a bad
Question?
thing, but running off.
Who's to say though, yeah, that that's what she's leading with though? I know she says obviously she's quite honest about like being intentional with dating and stuff, but can we say that she leads with like her career and what she earns and whatnot? And if she does, why would that throw you lot off?
Because the average male is not doing what she's doing.
Nah, it's not that.
That
man.
is a fact.
It's not an
65K a
insecure.
year.
Because you're saying it's insecure then. It's
That's what I was
insecurity.
gonna say. Because that's
It's
what
not
it sounds
insecurity
like.
because women typically.
And don't men?
Yeah, but you're secure in yourself, so you can't answer the question, Chinks.
Yeah, but that's still
So
unattractive
are you not
to me
secure in
because
yourself?
she's.
Which
Yeah,
is why you can.
I'm saying that was aggressive. That wasn't nice.
What the truth? It's aggressive.
I'm speaking from the old me.
No. You, to be fair, you lined that one up though.
Which
you gave
one?
it to me. You literally.
No,
gave
but
it to me.
it's true though. What?
No, I'm more interested in what.
No, because I'm saying you're secure in it. She's saying I'm not insecure. So
No, so
you,
I
you can
asked.
answer a certain way.
So, but you made the suggestion, so maybe explain why men would be insecure because if that
Yeah.
was your point.
Like I'm
That's
saying,
why
so
I-
from,
that's
like I
why
said,
I
speaking from an
asked.
older me,
That's fine.
because obviously I'm happy now, settled.
Love
Yeah.
that for you.
I know it's younger you.
Can I be
not
honest?
older.
Yeah,
Can we
that's
have a
it, yeah,
tally of
but,
how
you
many
know.
times he does that? Because I'm on number 4.
It's necessary though.
I'm on number
if
4.
she approached me, let's say I'm her type, and let's say she's not leading with that, I'm gonna pick up that energy anyway, the CEO energy, and
And that makes you insecure.
1000%.
Can I
Why
ask you
does-
why? Yeah.
Why is that a problem for her? Then?
Because after a while you're gonna be moving a certain way.
So explain.
What's
that.
that certain
that
way?
dominance. You're gonna be
So because why? Because I think this is where you listen to too much women's opinions. Why didn't you say that? And why did you lead with the insecure thing? Because you're saying it's more how she behaves and her traits. Because in the business field, it's very dog eat dog.
because later down you're gonna feel insecure about how she is anyway. So you might as well lead
No, but
it.
why are you insecure based on what she earns? Because you're using the wrong
Because
word, and I want you to home in on that
because
word.
naturally she's gonna move a certain way after a while
Why is that going to make
because
you
she
insecure?
makes more money.
So why is a woman making more money than you make you insecure?
Because she's gonna talk to you a certain way. She's
So
gonna she's gonna
what's
look
it got
down
to
on
do
you.
with the money then? Why is it not to do with her communication style? Why does the money make that?
Because
what
once
I
she
was
makes a
gonna
certain
say.
amount of money, she's gonna be in a certain tax bracket in her head, and that tax bracket is gonna talk to you a certain way. Like, hold on, you didn't take out the rubbish. Why didn't you take out the rubbish?
So you're saying
I'm
that
at work all day, babe.
it's practically impossible for women who don't make money to speak to you that way. The only thing that makes them speak to you that way is the money, is what you're saying.
Fact.
But you can.
And this is why our podcast has 3 X's instead of the actual way of spelled fact, because it's not a fact.
No, the thing is, maybe then that could happen. Fine, let's take those women out of the picture. That could happen, but a woman that can just communicate something, younger you, that insecurity, you'd be hearing what she says through that lens. So you'd be hearing that because of the money. That has nothing to do with her. She could just be talking to you normal, but because your insecurity is like guiding you, you're gonna hear it in a certain way, and you're gonna hear, oh, I make more money than you, that's why you need to be taking out the. She's
Which
just
is
trying to. She's just
insecurity.
saying we're in a house together. Please, can you take the rubbish out? And now you're misinterpreting it because
Because you earn less than her.
Yes, it's
Like a real insecure person.
my advice to her wouldn't be, oh, change your approach because you might meet an insecure man. That to me, that's not
Do you
her.
guys-
That's a you problem, not a
Yeah.
her
Do
problem.
you guys
Yeah.
do you guys feel as though women want a provider though? Deep down, they want someone who can provide. They want to see it.
There's
as-
women like that, yeah.
Do
Are
you
you
think
asking
most?
the women?
No, Chinks and Dr. Amani.
Deep that, as in it's an innate thing that someone wants.
Yeah, so
someone to be able to
yeah.
take care of them in a relationship.
Yeah.
Vice versa, yes.
What do you mean
Everyone
vice
would.
versa?
You also would want someone that could provide something to you.
Forget
yeah?
the men.
Everyone
though.
wants.
I'm talking about the women.
Okay, fine.
So, for example, you yourself, you would want a man that you know can provide for you.
Provide. What's the
Financially.
definition?
Let's stick with the financials first.
Financially
Yeah.
provide.
Yeah.
I would want us to be able to be in a situation that we could live the life that we want to.
Yeah.
In accordance to wherever we live. Yeah, because that will change over time. you know, economics, you know that's the thing that you talk about all the time. I would want to be able to know that we could live a life that we both want to live. If that means that we both have to work, then we both have to work.
Would you
Like,
feel
it's fine.
any sort of way if he earned 50% less than you?
50% less?
Yeah. Wages.
Would I feel any kind of way?
Yeah.
No.
So you
I
feel
don't know
like
what his circumstances in the time.
his circumstances just that he went a different career path to you. So for example, he's kind of capped at, let's just say 30k. So let's just say you earn what she earns. You earn 65k, he earns about 30k. Great man and all that sort of stuff. But the disparity between your wages is 50%. Do you feel like that will come up in your relationship? Or it manifests itself?
It would come up in the relationship, because if we all want to live a certain lifestyle, the money's going to matter. But I'm not saying that it would affect how I talk to a person. The practicality, yes, it would affect, but I'm not going to now look down on someone because they earn less than me or whatever.
I think maybe what I'm getting at is to see if other factors could maybe amplify that. So for example, let's just say
Throw it over to Gina too. She might have a
yeah,
different
100%. I'm basically trying to see if, like, for example, let's just say he was doing all the things that you expect a man to do from your non-toxic lens, right? And he's doing all those things, satisfied in those particular areas, and he's earning the 30k. I feel like the type of person you are, that would be a-okay, right? Because he's doing everything he should be doing. But if, for example, he starts to slack in other areas, do you feel like in your mind, you'll feel like, why are you slacking in these areas? Plus the fact that you ain't even bringing in as much bacon as me, that may bring a bit more bass in your voice.
It would bring more bass in my voice.
Yeah, do you feel like it could be when it comes to particular arguments?
Never been in this situation.
The pause answers the question.
No, I'm thinking. It's a possibility. I've never been in this situation.
High possibility.
But yeah, it's a possibility that when I'm in a relationship with someone and emotions are high, you'll play dirty, and that would be something that you would play dirty. And the same way that you would play dirty with some that I
Would it be something? Sorry to add.
Yeah, go on.
Say for example, he bought you a pair of shoes you like. You know the shoes are out of his budget, for example, and he bought the shoes for you. You'd be like, maybe you shouldn't have bought this. I know you can't afford this. Would you say something like that?
If he wants to pay for it, he can pay for it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a gift, isn't it?
Okay, fair.
Gina, what about you? Do you feel like the finances would make some sort of difference
No.
at all?
No, because I mean, it will have an impact, of course, but like, I literally echo what she said. Like, I'm not going to talk to you or be rude or like, do you know what I mean? Based on what you earn. Because remember, situations can change, you know.
100%.
Like, your current state is not your forever. So for me to now move mad because in this moment, like, you might be quote unquote down bad or whatever. What if next week I get made redundant? Then where do we go from here? But last week I was yapping. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
I don't operate like that. So, and I'm very aware that like nothing is final in it and things can change. So I don't respect people I don't size people up based on what they earn or their status in life. That's not me. I don't do that now. So I can't imagine that being a thing that I do in a relationship. I
feel like, don't get me wrong, I'm not doubting you guys' answers at all, but I just feel like sometimes, if you look at it even from the other angle, if it was a case of, for example, him earning 50% more than you guys, do you feel like you may watch your tone a bit more when it comes to particular things?
No.
Okay,
No.
Cool. Okay, cool.
You ain't my dad. Like, you're not my parent. So again, it's not I'm not going to respect you more because you earn more than me.
And I'm not going to be submissive more or like watch my tone.
Yeah.
Or not voice what I want to say in a relationship.
Do you know,
Let me ask a good question.
Would you submit at all to any man? Forget money.
Define, because I feel like when we get into these conversations, there's
Like,
like
what was your question again?
definition.
Sorry.
All right, before you ask that question, what if things don't change?
In terms of...
Yeah,
Then
I
it
respect
is,
that.
even if they don't change, I knew the situation I got myself into. So I didn't get into that situation thinking that things would change. Because remember, you have to ask yourself, if this is going to be this forever, can you handle it? If the answer is yes, you stay. If the answer is no, go about your
What if
business.
he has a project and he says, babe, I need 20k?
I've invested in a guy before. Like, I have.
Getting money back?
You know, that was valid.
Getting money back?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, well done.
Fair enough.
I don't believe in taking money from
I
women.
did.
100%.
But my point is, again, if I rock with you, I rock with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, even blindly, call it a flaw, but it is what it is. That's just who I am in it. So, yeah. I wouldn't have an issue. I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, why are you asking me for 20k? Because, like, you need it.
Yeah.
Like, and
we're in a relationship.
We're in, yeah, so like,
Like-
I don't get why this is like, I'm not gonna look at you sideways because you've come to ask me for money on something that you're building that, God willing, will even benefit like
Both
all
of
of
you,
us. Do you
yeah.
understand what I mean?
I think for me, like when I'm talking about the finance, it's not necessarily the actual money that you've seen in the in the account. It's more so the fact that I feel as though even though women say, okay, cool, we come to the table, we can do certain things 50-50, we can both help with every single task. I feel like, again, I could be wrong, you guys, the women, you expect a man to provide and protect for you. Right? And if he does not do those particular things, he may be able to make it up in other areas. But if those areas slack, I think it becomes apparent that the main thing you wanted him for, he ain't even doing. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking for a woman to give me children and she can't give me children, again, no disrespect to anybody else who's struggling with certain things, right? And other areas are slacking, it may become more apparent to me that, wait a minute, I don't have I'm going through all of this and I still don't have the main thing I want. Do you get where I'm coming from? So that's basically the angle I'm coming from.
Are you?
I hear what you're saying.
I think there is like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't want a guy to, like, I don't want to lead.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead.
Precisely.
I don't.
Precisely.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like I don't mind co-leading, but I'm not gonna sit here and say I want to steer the ship because I'm just a girl. I'm tired. Do you know what I mean? So please let me just passenger princess small. Like I don't mind sometimes, you know, but
Can you do
balance.
that?
What?
Like be passenger princess and just let someone lead.
Yeah.
Without saying, babe, take that lift, for example.
There's nothing wrong with that though. You're supposed to negotiate and help
Like,
each other. And
not.
stuff like
Do you know
that.
what it is? Like, I couldn't ever be like a stay-at-home. I couldn't do that. Based on my personality, I have ants in my pants. I'll itch and just need to like do something. I couldn't be taken care of, if you get what I mean. I couldn't be told, listen, this is your allowance, don't work.
Yeah, that was-
like,
that's
look,
not gonna
I
vibe.
couldn't do that.
Now, why I'm saying is because my partner, obviously, she was married before to obviously the father of her kids, and she had to do everything. Like, for example, if she parks the car, or wherever they park the car, she's got to remember where the car's parked. If she's doing something, for example, in the house, and for example, the rubbish ain't been taken out, or the hot water ain't been turned on, something like that, she would have to do that. But now with me, it's a complete opposite. Like when we're going on holiday or whatever, when we're going away or whatever, or when she parks the car, we're like, where's the car parked? She's like, babe, you should know where it's parked. She's like, I leave those things to you now. I don't worry about those things. That's the reason why I'm asking you if you could be that.
Yeah, of course. And I guess it will take adjusting, right? Because I feel like when you're so used to doing life a certain type of way, adding someone else into the mix and having to find like the new sort of balance is going to be a challenge. Do you get what I mean? But it's about balance and your willingness to be able to like compromise and come to that. Otherwise, you might as well just be by yourself.
I think, you know what, long way round, I think we've got to the dilemma's solution. So the both of you kind of jumped and said, I don't want an allowance, I can't sit at home and do nothing. So the lady, the type of men she wants probably is a well-off, successful man who the type of woman that complements his life is a woman that will do those things. So that career-driven woman who's doing well and successful in business is not attractive to the type of man per se she wants.
You know why I see what you're saying? I've had a situation where there was a guy, and this is why I know I couldn't, because again he was doing really well for himself. This isn't even over here. This is in Ghana, innit? Doing really well for himself, whatever. And the issue was me being me, if you get what I mean. Being that, do you know what I mean? Being driven and doing all the stuff that I was doing, and it was just like, oh, like I remember I got asked the question like, what would it take for you to stop? Or like, how much would it take for you to stop? And you know, I took that so offensive because I was just like, what do you mean? There's nothing. Like, this is passion. Like, I can't put a price on my passion.
He was trying to make you stop your career.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
I see.
what would you... Because he was very, like, private. Obviously, my job doesn't allow me to be private, so to speak, right? So it was that conflict of... you're too out there. Like, I need my partner to not be... in the and I'm
stay at home,
and my
basically.
thing is, but you know who I am, and that's not changing, bro. Like, you know that it's not. Like, you've met me here, so you're very aware. So for you to even think that like you can put a price on it, you clearly don't know me. But for me, from that experience, I've just realized that I can't those type of men I can't date or be with because the type of women that they want is not me.
So would you? Yeah, go on.
Is this also answering the question? How old is she? 27?
37.
37. Oh, 37. Sorry, I thought she was 27. Just keep going, babe. Like, just keep going. You have an experience. You'll learn from it. You'll go
She
on it
sounds
and you'll
unhappy.
She sounds absolutely, because it's sad. She's lonely, and it's
And
sad
but-
right now.
I think women are very good at being single nowadays.
Good at being single.
Yeah.
As in, like,
'Cause,
just
like, say
getting
for
on and doing
example,
their own
yeah,
thing. And
Jean, sorry to use an example. She's just gone to Sweden, done
Yeah.
something she didn't want to do, don't enjoy doing, don't like doing because it's for her career.
yeah.
But for your partner, the person you love, you're not willing to make certain sacrifices. So you see why some men, if your career is your main focus, that means me and my family and what I'm bringing is not going to be your main focus. So that's unattractive.
Not necessarily,
Do you know what I
though.
mean?
Why would you... Okay, if we're using me as an example in this trip here, why would you assume that I was able to, like, make certain sacrifices for my career in regards to that job and I wouldn't be able to do that same thing in a relationship?
Because of what you just said about the man.
But that was him saying, stop working, not...
And be my woman.
And and not...
And focus on us building our family and growing together.
Yeah. But
But
that's
your
not gonna...
career is more important than that. And that some men are thinking, right, your career is more important than building a family.
But she's not saying I won't do those things.
She
She's saying I
literally
can
just
adjust.
said there's no price you can put on it.
No, but he said stop, not
Take a step
to
back.
take a step
Do you know
back
what it
or
was?
readjust or let's
So this
think
is
about how
part
this
2
is-
of the issue now.
But
You're
let me-
unagreeable.
No,
Men
no,
don't
no,
find that
no,
attractive.
no.
But he's also being unagreeable. He's saying stop.
But that's a masculine trait.
Hello. Can
Yeah,
I...
Sorry.
Speak on your circumstance. Sorry, baby, it's your circumstance.
Can I just elaborate on that, yeah? One of the main reasons why I refused, yeah, is because it was coming from a place of control.
So right there, because that's the thing though. Have you ever worked? So not you per se, because you're not employed, but there's women that have bosses who can be controlled and told what to do, and they submit to their boss because he pays them. But your partner, your lifelong partner, you can't. Do you get what I mean?
And you use the word refuse. See that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So sorry to make it a Caucasian thing.
I refuse.
There's a white
Yeah.
man cutting your check who can make you control you and make you do certain things. But me, your partner, the person you love and you're meant to build with, now it's controlling.
But I don't really like. I understand.
Of course you wouldn't.
No, I would understand what you're trying to say, the comparison. But the reason I don't like it is because I think too many. I'm not saying money isn't part of it. Yeah, a relationship it is, but I think too many times we try and equate a relationship with a boss to a partner. This is a different type of relationship. Your boss controlling your finances is completely different to your partner that's meant to also be interested in what makes you happy. She wasn't saying, oh, I will never date with a man that makes me even reconsider my career. He was telling her to stop. That's completely different. She's clearly willing to compromise. I don't know, I'm speaking for you, babe.
No, that's fine.
She's clearly willing to compromise and say, oh, okay, maybe, I don't know what you could do in your career. Maybe I don't do as many clients because that means that I'm going to have more time to raise children. That's a compromise. Is that not what she was trying to say? I'm really confused at what you're...
I think that what happened, are you and that man still dealing?
No.
So it kind of answers your question where they're at now, that there was clearly, he didn't want to hear no compromise.
Yeah,
No,
and
but-
that's what the issue... When you were telling the
So
story...
let me not open my mouth. Let me not
Yeah,
lift
don't.
up my skirts.
Like, when you were telling the story, I heard that the problem was that you
That
didn't wanna
was one.
change.
That was one. Can I be
That's
honest?
probably
It was one of
thing.
like.
Yeah, no, of course.
The thing is, there was loads of other things, yeah, and there was a lot of disrespect. So for me, it was just like
Oh, I didn't hear all the other extra stuff.
I know, but I'm
So,
saying like
That's fine.
again, I only gave that situation because we were talking about high value men. Do you know what I mean? That's why I went there. But I'm saying that in that whole situation, there's a lot of layers. So it wasn't a case of like just straight up refusal. Do
So
you
sorry,
understand what I mean?
why was you even with him if there was so many like issues?
We went together. We were just dating, innit? It was
Okay,
like
okay.
we went together.
Yeah.
But it was just. I just, you know, when you can just foresee, like, do you know what I mean?
Would you want a man to be outside? Not, I wouldn't say outside, but as a career like how you've got, would you be okay with a man doing that?
Yeah, like I'm not. Do you know what it is? I don't.
Outside's the wrong word, by the way. I don't need
And
to
like
use
someone
outside.
who has like a public facing,
Yeah.
who's I wouldn't be opposed because I guess that's what I also do in it. So I can't be a hypocrite and be like, no, you can't. Do you know what I mean?
Do you really want one like that though?
Nah, but I don't. I'm not opposed to it if you get what I mean. Because I generally believe that you can still be public, like be in the public eye and still have a private life. Like people don't need to know.
Impossible.
Nah, there's people.
You use that word in mass
It's
places.
It's not. It isn't, because I can give you people that I know who are very public facing, who are married, and they've managed to keep that side
But
of.
then you're hiding your partner.
It's not even. It's not. Everyone knows they're married. they're not hiding their partner. They just don't. I understand why they don't put them in the public eye.
Why though?
Because it's just not worth the. Do you know what I think it is with me? Yeah, everyone has. I hate, and even with myself, everyone has an opinion, and it's. I don't care, but I don't even want to give you the opportunity to even give your opinion on what I've got going on. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to give you the opportunity to sit amongst your friends and your group. Like, just I don't want to give you that. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't even want to feed you crumbs to do whatever you're doing.
Fair.
Do you get what I mean? Because it's gonna be of no benefit to me.
Yeah.
And a quiet life is a happy life. Do you know what I mean? Let me just do you know what I mean? And the reason why I don't believe it's hiding your partner, because are you saying that when I'm outside that my partner's going to be wearing a bally or like sunglasses and like I'm not going to go out with my partner? I'm going to be out with my partner in public. Like you will know that that's my partner. But we don't have to have a social media account where like we're doing couple life and do you know what I mean? Like it's, to me personally, it's not necessary. And like I said, I think it just allows more room for like unnecessary stuff that you don't really need. Yeah. But that's just my take on it. And I believe that being someone in the public eye, I generally believe you if you want to, you will.
You will what, have a private?
Like if you're in the public eye and you want to keep your personal life private,
It's possible.
you can, yeah.
Of course.
It's if you want to.
Because I've never shared no one I've dealt with. You don't put your kids and your family online. So that's my private life. What you see online is what I decide to want to show you.
Exactly.
But after my woman, I wouldn't date. I wouldn't be with her if she was like me. Does that make sense? Like in the public eye, like how I am, and people can message me and send their dilemmas in. And
So why would you not date her if she was like that?
I couldn't do it.
Why?
Because I'm quite a private person to a certain extent. I'm possessive, realistically, especially to my woman.
Valid. Number 5.
Decent. That was decent. I deserved that. I couldn't do it. I told her I wouldn't date me. Does that make sense? And she's like to me, how does that sound? I was like, I'm being honest. Do you want me to lie to you and pretend and sugarcoat it, or be honest about it? So
sorry to go off subject. Yeah, someone's commented, Margs would look so good if he went gym. What does she think I'm Margs, or is this nothing to do with this? I'm so lost.
yeah, you're Margs.
You're literally Margs' replacement.
Mark's dupe.
Somebody even said it. They were like, oh, he's literally picked up where Margs left.
I swear to God.
To be honest, Margs is never on this path. He's never on this path.
What are we telling this?
Yeah,
what are we
exactly.
telling
I was about to say
her? Babe, just keep going. It's sad if someone wants to be in a relationship and they feel lonely, and it's sad. It is, but.
Am I rude to say lower your standards?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Maybe start thinking about the things that aren't.
I mean, she said
non-negotiable.
But remember, she's also said that she's now willing to, I guess, date outside of her race. So that is her like.
Whoa, why is dating outside your race lowering your standards?
No,
I
as
said
in
we're talking about
changing her
negotiating.
approach.
Oh, okay.
Whatever
Yeah,
she's leading
that's-
with, stop leading with that. Lead with something else.
Nah, you
It's
can't
not
say
working.
that.
It's not working. She's 37. It's not working.
Yeah, but so there's a man out there for her.
Of course there is.
But if it might take long to find that man. And I think the what's the way? How can I say this?
I hate this for me.
Say that again.
Nothing.
Like the way, like because it's either
You're talking about her.
no, it's either you do what Amani says and play the long game and keep doing what you're doing, and that knight in shining armor who kisses you while you're on your deathbed and wakes you up pops up.
Deathbeds.
No, but I just Prince Charming. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, I see
Analogy.
what you mean.
So either you do that or you lower your standards and what's the word? You just take the person you're with for what they are and build from there.
Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Sorry.
No, I felt like that's necessary.
No. It's fine.
Why?
I was gonna say, do you think it's because do you think her career is hindering her finding love?
Of the level of man she requires, yes.
Okay.
Well, we did
Hence
the
why-
same thing. So
Sorry?
we're in the same.
It's the money.
profession,
I think
so-
it's the money.
I think the same
I
thing as
personally think it's
her.
the money.
Okay, but
So,
so are you happily married?
no, I'm single.
So you've had partners prior.
Yeah.
So why are you not with them no more?
Incompatibility.
See, this is why, yeah.
From incompatibility, I think means that both parties are.
What
at play.
percentage is yours and what percentage is his?
Percentage? What do you mean percentage?
Like, is it 50-50 to 60-40 your way, 70-30? What?
You're
But
very
the
good at
thing is-
avoiding questions. How you good at saying what do you mean by percentages?
Because the
We
thing
know
is,
what a percentage is.
but the thing is, how can I'm gonna say, okay, maybe it was him and maybe it was me, and he'll say something different. The circumstances are circumstances, are not compatible.
But if he was bothered about this random invisible man's opinion, he would ask him. So he's asking you your version of the percentage of what was wrong in the relationship.
There was an imbalance.
What percentage?
But the thing is, I honestly, I
There's
don't know
an
how to
answer I'm
answer.
looking for. If I don't hear that, then
Sorry, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say no percentage? I mean,
no,
what percentage?
because I'm gonna answer.
Basically, who's...
If I don't hear 50-50,
Yeah.
then for me there's something wrong.
I still don't understand. What do you mean by...
Like she said, there's an incompatibility.
Yeah.
So where's the compromise? There was no compromise from both ends then. Does
Yeah,
that
but
make sense?
when incompatibility are on core things like, okay, you want to live in this country, I don't live in another country.
Okay.
I can't move.
Okay.
Like I don't mean things that you can learn to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's say it like that.
All
then.
right.
Not things. Yeah.
Who ended it?
It depends who you're talking about. I've ended it. They've ended it. It's been mutual. Yeah.
You're good at this, man.
Are you
Very
you
good
still
at
talk
this.
to any of them?
Yeah.
And you can't see it rekindling?
No.
I think, you know what the best thing is, yeah, and I'm being a hypocrite now because I didn't live about this. Meet your person from young and just build with them. Because I think the more experiences and the more people you come across, it's just more comparisons you have to compare people by, and you have more things to not like about people. Because say, for example, it's bad to bring it back to sex. The first time I had sex, I didn't know what good and bad sex was. So if I would have remained having sex with that one person, it would have got better. But now because I've experienced this, now I know good and bad. Do you get what I mean? So I think you should just...
So
But
haven't you also learnt the things that you can grow with opposed to things that are non-negotiable? So that's what I'm saying to this girl. There are going to be things that you can learn to develop. One of those things could be sex. It could be communication. It could be how to manage your emotions. Or there could be core things that like, nah, this is not going to work. My thing is learn how to do the things that you can develop in and see someone else that can also do that and make that work. Cool. Instead of trying to cut them off before you even had the chance to develop. If it's something where it's like a core, nah, this is not going to work, and it could be, I don't know, like I said, location, it could be religion, whatever, and those are non-negotiables, no one can move, then cool, allow it. But if you found yourself in a pattern where you're cutting people off for traits that actually can change, yes, there's a problem there. That's the thing that can change.
Coming to what Chinks is saying, I think she needs to lower her standards though, I'll be honest, because a lot of my female friends that was single, and what they describe, what they want in a man, and when they get a partner, I'm just like, that's not what you said. Like that person doesn't look anything like you said, and they don't do anything that you said. But you're with them, and now you're happy. That's what I think the lady from Hertfordshire, that's 37, should do.
Is it? Are you saying lower standards and kind of just accept that?
It does
Accept
sound
that
rude,
as your
but-
reality, or is it lower your standards in certain things and then build up to the level that you're kind of looking for first?
Don't start so high in it. Maybe so I say lower the bar a bit. Then the bar's maybe a bit too high, and she wants people to jump over that bar, not even jump up to it, jump over it to be with her. Maybe just bring the bar down a little piece. If they jump over it, then bring the bar up a bit.
Because you
know
know,
what I mean?
you know what it sounds mean, yeah? Like we all have our own perception of ourselves and know our worth to a degree, innit? But does the marketplace not determine your value in a way?
Economics.
Am I wrong?
100% right.
Do you get what I mean? So clearly all the stuff you're putting your best foot forward and talking about all your accolades, but the type of man you're attracting don't really... Do you get what I mean?
So go other places, meet new people, keep trying.
Yeah, but she's been doing that and she still ain't got nowhere.
Then you keep going.
Then you end up with cats.
But she's
But no-
tired. She's tired.
And she's tired, but the thing is, you can ultimately she can be tired, but I don't think it's good advice to tell someone. I'm not saying this is what you're exactly saying. To tell someone to then be in a relationship out of maybe like convenience or
No,
circumstance.
definitely not. Don't do that.
Like there we go. It says lower your standards sounds negative.
Yeah, it
so
does.
it is about being more realistic, and that's what I was trying to get. So it's saying, okay, this person may not be like hitting every single bar, but they're actually a good person. Actually, they're willing to try this. They're willing to be committed. They're willing to work on this. Okay, we can make this go forward. Lower your standards does sound negative, but I also wouldn't tell someone to just then settle because you're tired. You leave me. Being in a bad relationship is worse than being single. So you might as well, or a relationship that doesn't even fulfill you is worse than being single. So don't do it out of convenience. Yes, it's upsetting. Have I not been sad about being single before? Yes, of course I have. Am I now going to go jump on the next person that comes around. No, because it's not going to be good for anybody in the long run.
And you know what as well? Work on your selection process. Because you've picked wrong people continuously. Do you get what I mean? Because like, say for example, I've got every relationship I've been in, barring my last, has come to an end. So up until a recent time, I've had 100% failure rate in relationships. Do you get what I mean? But I'm still a person out here thinking, yeah, I'm going to make the right choice. Do you get what I mean? So some people, I think a lot of us need to work on our selection process. The things that we put as important, like what you were saying as our non-negotiables, look where they've led us. Do you get what I mean? So also as well, the selection process could do with a bit of work.
Could this be an answer instead of lowering it?
Increase your standards.
Can this work in this
as in
situation?
add more stuff to it. I see where they're going.
So make it even more difficult.
Add more statures to it.
It could be more so like stop entertaining guys that you really shouldn't give a chance to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Selection process.
Yeah.
But selection process is kind of lower your standards.
But be more
in a nice way.
realistic. Lower your standards sounds like you must just get with any Tom, Dick, or Harry,
yeah.
which is not. I'm not advising no one to do that.
And I guess, and put yourself in, like, for example, as much as, like me personally, I'm a traditional type of person, right? So I'm not interested in a woman's like wages and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? At all.
Yeah.
But if she earns 60K, I'm thinking, okay, cool. And she's a clinical psychologist. There's a certain way I'm going to view her. And I automatically may view her with a bit more respect than somebody. Maybe respect's the wrong word. But I may view her with a bit more, you know what I'm saying? Like she brings more to the table because this is an accomplished person. She's tried certain things. She's gone for formal education. She's done things that the average person doesn't do. I can't look at you as an average person. You know what I'm saying? You've shown and proved that you're not average. So I have to come to the table in a particular way. And so if she can come to the table and meet people who have that sort of mindset where it's like, cool, I can't come to you with poor hygiene. I can't come to you with the lies. I think that's what Night is basically speaking to. Increase your standards. Be in circles around people who may not care about your wage bracket and whatnot, but see you as somebody who's accomplished to some degree. I know I can't talk to you in a particular way. I know I can't treat you in a particular way because you're not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like the time I give you should be quality time rather than just any time. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing.
Or he could have just been sarcastic.
Well, I mean, it could be.
Yeah, we can't go past this whole subject with men. Work on your hygiene, man. That's embarrassing, man. That's proper embarrassing. I'd be mortified if a lady spoke about me like that. That's so childish. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have. Sorry, let me not.
Dr. Amani, I did want to ask you, because obviously as a psychologist, I'm assuming, because I know nothing about therapy and stuff, when you're talking to somebody, do you give them like timescales?
Timescales about?
Like, so for example, if you're going to, maybe you ask people to improve certain things or go away and work on this and look at this, do you say, in this amount of time, we're going to look back at your progress?
Yeah, it depends on the type of therapy. So if I'm doing something that's like CBT, which is very structured.
What's that?
Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay.
That is very much, you're going to do this over the next week. We're going to come back and talk about it. And then in 6 weeks, we're going to review. And it's not in like you better have improved by then, but it just gives people a structure and it helps us monitor things. Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking, not to put you on the spot, could you potentially, because I know you said to the lady, like, just keep going.
Yeah.
Can you kind of put a timescale to it and say, okay, in this amount of time, after this amount of dates, expect this and make sure you've done this, just so that she has some sort of something to hold on to. Because
with a certain person.
Yeah, or people, or like, over maybe 3 different guys. The reason why I'm saying that, not to be disrespectful, but she's 37. You know what I'm saying? She knows she's not 27. She does not have the luxury of being a 27-year-old. Just being blunt, right? And she knows this is the reason why she's saying what she's saying. So, in the next year, 2025, what do you think she can do? Tangible things that can improve her chances.
What she can do? That's a key.
Not to put you on the spot.
No, but I think all of these things, I think sometimes as well, we go into dating and not do the work that you would do. And I know I said don't compare it to a job, but this is the one time I'm going to. The same way you would with your job. You're going to do certain things and you're going to try something and then you're going to go for an appraisal, right? You're going to reflect and you're going to be like, okay, this worked for me, this didn't. Actually, I want to improve on this. Yeah, and in the next 6 months, this is what I want to do differently. I think you can do that. She could do that in dating. So she could put herself out there and say, okay, I've been doing the apps for a little bit, but I'm finding that it's actually hard to build a connection with someone over apps. And maybe I need to be in a space with someone like a run club or like something where I'm going to keep running into that
Change
person.
your environment.
Change my environment, because that means I'm seeing that person more regularly and I'm seeing their attributes outside of us in a one-to-one. Yeah. And then you can see, okay, that process works for me better because X, Y, and Z. Let me try that a little bit more.
Would you advise her to give her, would you advise her to maybe give a guy a maximum of 3 dates to show a particular trait? Or maybe 5 dates, or I don't know, a certain time scale, whatever.
And don't forget to add in, she's 37, like she's not 27, so she hasn't got the whole lot time of childbearing age. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that.
But you know, a lot of women are having kids later on in life. In comparison
but
to before.
the prime childbearing age is what it is.
No, I hear it. I know.
Gina's she's taking it personal.
No, I'm not. Do you know why I can't? I get this from my family all the time. Like, I'm over it. Like, do you know what I mean? Nothing, you can't rattle me. Like, I know my age. Like, I have a mirror. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not, nothing anyone tells me is not something that either I haven't thought of myself or like that I'm not aware of. So it's like, what you're telling me, believe I've already had this conversation with myself about. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not taking anything personal. It's okay.
So sorry to cut, are you very like, I don't want to say.
Before you change the subject,
no,
is the free, is 3 dates too abrupt?
It's going to be, isn't it going to be dependent on, there's too many factors involved. So I'm also a researcher, so I'm also thinking about all the different variables. What's the type of date? How long was it? What were you doing? Like, and if something is like, oh, I want to make sure that he's kind to everybody, but you've been to the cinema, I'm not good. You know what I mean? You're going to see that more likely maybe if you went on a walk in the park and you see how it interacts with kids or something. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to be like, yeah, say 3 dates. It depends on too many things.
Would you say you're judgmental? Like, do you judge a book by its cover? Like, as in, have you walked in and analysed us two? Because this is the first time you've met us.
Analyse.
Let me answer the question, because you know what?
Yeah, everyone.
No, there's nowadays people act like being judgmental is an issue. Yeah. You should judge people. You should make analysis on people. No, but you should judge people. You shouldn't treat people different based on the judgments or think you're better than anyone based on your judgment. But it's a human trait to take things you've seen on people and contribute that to them, who they are as a person.
Yeah, but I'm saying the reason I'm saying that because you two are in the same career. She might be
who two.
The lady in question, she might be going into relationships or going into situations, whatever you want to call it, judging a book by its cover.
Yeah, and that would be part of that appraisal process. What am I doing that's contributing to this? Am I judging someone and not letting them, like, getting to know them, letting them show me their true colours, whatever? That's for her to actually do some work on and think about and then change it if that's the thing.
Fair.
Okay. Well, I think we've given her enough advice and whatnot. We've got some headlines to get through, man. And a topic of All right, people. So our first headline, Sir Keir Starmer has announced plans to block campaigners from making repeated legal challenges to planning decisions for major infrastructure projects in England and in Wales as part of the drive for economic growth. Number 10 says the proposal will prevent cynical and hopeless appeals blocking new nuclear power stations, roads, railway lines and wind farms. Sir Keir Starmer also vowed to end the challenge culture by taking on the Nimbys, the Not In My Backyard, who he said stood in the way of growth. Campaign group Friends of the Earth accused Labour of attempting to scapegoat people with valid concerns about a project's impact. Next headline, an energy security and net zero secretary, Ed Miliband, has said that he will not resign if the government backs a third runway at Heathrow Airport, despite being a long-time opponent of it. The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, is expected to use a speech on growth next week to announce approval for a new runway at Heathrow, and the Treasury is also considering whether to back a second runway at Gatwick and increase capacity at Luton Airport. Miliband told the Press Association news agency ministers couldn't meet their growth and net zero emissions at the same time. Asked if he would quit if a third Heathrow runway got the go-ahead, he said, "Don't be ridiculous. No." And our last headline, a Russian victory would greatly undermine the power of Nato and its credibility could cost trillions to restore. This is what the alliance's Secretary General has warned. Mark Rutte insisted that Ukraine's Western backers must not scale back must not scale back the support they are providing to the country almost 3 years after Vladimir Putin's invasion began. NATO has been increasing its forces along its eastern flank, with Russia, Belarus and Ukraine deploying thousands of troops and equipment. This is to deter Moscow from expanding its war into the territory of any of the organization's 32 member countries. And speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland, Mr. Root said if Ukraine loses, then to restore the deterrence of the rest of NATO again, it will be a much, much higher price than what we are contemplating at this moment in terms of ramping up our spending and also ramping up our industrial production. And that's it for our first set of headlines. Let's get into our topic of the day. Yes. So today we're going to do something different. Brent is going to be leading topic of the day today.
All right, cool. Chinks and Kid. There's some new people in the chat. They don't know who you are. Can you reintroduce yourself, please?
So I go by on the socials, Kid or Special K. I used to let the ladies call me Special K, but obviously I'm taken now, so I don't. We might even change it. I'm part of a podcast called Facts Only. Probably been a public speaker for like maybe we started the podcast 4 years ago. Chinks was been a part of it for the last 18 months.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
We wasn't consistent. Chinks has definitely brought some consistency into it. He's helped us a lot. He doesn't like to take praise, but without Chinks, there wouldn't really be a podcast anymore because the other two guys, they're very busy in their career, whereas I've got more free time. It was always me pushing. There was no one to kind of help, but Chinks has definitely put a spring in it and helped us out. So yeah, that's what I am.
I hate that, you know.
What?
That he's giving you your flowers.
Yeah.
I don't need, because it's a lie as well. Do you know what I mean? Because the nucleus of the podcast is Kid. Kid knows all of us individually. A lot of our big looks, the reason we're even here is because Kid knew someone who got us here. So a lot of our big wins are due to Kid. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm part of Facts Only podcast. And I'm proud in saying I'm Kid's friend.
That's nice.
All right, so how did you meet Kid?
Well, we're from around. Where he grew up and I grew up is not too far from each other, but in South London there's like loads of
Where did you say?
South London. There's loads of like invisible lines and barriers in it. So people who are not from where you're from, or if your areas don't have alliances, you don't really cross paths and speak. So in our younger days, we would have like seen each other in passing and not necessarily had a conversation. But as we've grown up and realized there's more to the world than your estate, and we have a lot more in common with each other than some people who we grew up with, we've like met and crossed paths and spoke and just became friends. So say our area and life experiences was what made us friends.
Okay. So you met him when it is that you were in secondary school?
No, wait, when did I?
No, do you know? Because my friend from your state, we went primary school together. So I was kind of around his area from around the age of 8. But we didn't see each other. But obviously we was in the same vicinity, so I knew we had mutuals.
Yeah.
And then when we saw each other again, I was like, oh, with this. And then the friends that we met, the last time I saw you was at my girl's birthday party, innit?
Sash.
And that was about.
I was driving the bus. That was a while ago.
Yeah, that was about over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of just, I think we exchanged socials. We sounded like we're on a date.
Yeah.
We exchanged socials.
Yeah.
And then I saw that he was doing a podcast as well. He doesn't like to talk about his other podcasts because he thinks it's rubbish, but it was funny. I enjoyed it. And obviously his music career as well. He doesn't like to talk about his music career, but his music is...
I don't have a music
his
career.
music
I
is
never
good.
did.
He doesn't really... See me, I'm very... What's the word I'm looking for?
Honest.
Yeah, in a nice way. And if I don't think your music's good, I'll tell you I don't think it's good. But his music's good. He doesn't like to talk about it, but his music's good, so... Yeah.
That's just highlighting your failures. Do you know what I mean? That was just a sad part of my life where I thought I was a musician, but yeah.
You got anything on YouTube?
He's got a lot on YouTube.
You play it right
yes,
now.
Serious?
Yes,
No, I don't.
Yes,
He would
yes.
literally play
don't.
it right now.
Yes.
So.
No, I
What was
don't.
he? What was he? Rap? What was it?
It's like kind of like Max B,
Max
like
B.
wavy kind of rap.
Wavy rap.
Yeah.
When did you stop? 60 months ago? Or longer than that?
When did I stop? Longer than that's crazy. Years ago, man. Yeah, it would have been wait.
Have you got unreleased music?
Yeah, loads.
See, he hasn't stopped them, Brent.
No, I have stopped. That's stuff I recorded back then, but I probably ain't recorded for 2 to 3+ years. I haven't recorded anything.
That's light.
You
That's
reckon?
the other day.
Nah, man.
That was just lockdown was just the other day.
No, maybe I'm imagining it wrong. Maybe it's longer than that. No, but it's been a while, man. I don't even think I can do it anymore.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
It was never meant for you, bro.
Yeah, it weren't for me, man. It's just, everybody thinks they're rappers nowadays, though, man. I kind of hate that. I hate that I was one of those guys that wanted to be a rapper. Like, it's just.
But everyone thinks they're podcasters nowadays. So it's kind of do you know what I mean? I'm fed up with this narrative, take away mics or charge prices for mics or get licenses. I'm fed up with that.
But you know what?
Let's have an outlet.
There's some podcasts that they need to take away their mics, though.
Word.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know if I
though.
agree. Why? Why though? Can't they have their opinion?
Expand on that, Chinks.
Because it's just like, so some people, I was scrolling on TikTok, I saw a podcast today. It was some blokes, they weren't entertaining, they weren't that educated. So it's just like, what am I getting from this? You weren't informing me or educating me or anything, and you're not entertaining me, you're quite bland and dry. And then on top of that, you're scared to kind of say anything like, or have your own opinion. And it's bare like, I don't want to speak on, like, and it was just pointless.
Well,
like,
people would say that about us though.
yeah, and they're right to have their opinion the same way I'm allowed to have mine, innit?
You can't say take the microphone. That's.
No, of course, the Lord gave everyone free will, and you're allowed to do what you want to do. But is that what you're best at and what you're going to succeed in life?
Yeah,
Pause.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe if you
don't
put,
do that on this show.
pardon,
You're allowed to be fluid. You don't have to be shamed.
What did he do?
I have a mad. You know what pause is?
Oh, I didn't even
like
hear you said that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry.
All right, cool. So he was violent when he was in primary school, dashing things and whatnot. Was that your same story too?
Who was violent? Oh, what was
I
my school?
had a rough upbringing, want
I want to get to that, but we also like him dashing stuff around.
Now, you know what? I was quite privileged. My dad sent me to Saturday school, so I was more advanced than a lot of my classmates. But then that led me to being boarding class. So and then I'm a bit of a class clown. So I'd be entertaining the whole class, and they're not doing their work. But then in the last 10 minutes, I could kind of knock the work out quickly. So I was like a bad influence, and I'd lead the students astray. Do you know what I mean?
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
He says it like it's a badge of honor.
No, but you know what I am proud of? You know, rappers always say my teacher used to say I wouldn't be shit. No teacher ever told me that. They told me I had potential and I wasted it. And I'm proud of that.
You said that you used to drive buses?
Yeah.
Did I just hear that just now?
No, that was that yesterday?
No, you said it just now, I think.
Did I? I talk too much. I didn't even know I said
You
that.
did just say that.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's bad. That's really dangerous, Just saying stuff and I don't remember it. But yeah, I drove buses 4 years, 2010 to 2014. But 3 years was part-time. That's the only reason I lasted so long.
Why did you stop?
When you're a bus driver, you get this thing called a CPC card, and it lasts for 5 years. So you have to do like classroom hours to build it up. So when I passed in 2010, I had 5 years. But then because I was so bad, and I used to play football for my manager, he used to take me off the bus sometimes and put me in the classroom. So I got an extra 5 years. And I always said that by the time, because that means I would have been driving buses 10 years. By the time the second 10 years runs out, I said, I don't want to do it no more. So that's, my CPC ended in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. And I said I want to stop driving buses by then. So I did red bus 4 years, school bus 6 years. And then that's when I said I don't want to do this no more.
Were you ever involved in gang life?
Yeah, too. Not no serious, like, dying.
It's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah, like, to a degree, we had fights and issues with other estates and stuff like that, yeah, but not entrenched in it, like, to a degree where some other people were. I feel like a bit of a fraud saying I was a full-on gang member because I always knew there was other ways and I never jumped 2 feet in like everybody else.
Are you West Indian?
Yeah.
Which island?
My dad's Jamaican.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Where's your mommy from?
It's where my mum's English, but my mum's from Madeira and my mum's dad's Chinese Jamaican. So quite a mixture. But I'm fish and chips, man. I'm proud to be British, man.
Yeah, I hear that. Kid, you look like you were in gang life.
He looks like it today.
Do you know what? Obviously, I grew up in Brixton.
What did you say?
I grew up in Brixton.
See, I even got it on cue.
And but do you know what? Because so I went to a private primary school.
Serious?
Yeah, so from the ages of 3 to 10, I was in private school. So I was kind of nerdy. So being in Brixton and being nerdy, it didn't really go together. And even like my cousins were gang related and my friends were gang related. I wasn't on that path. I like to play computer games. I like to watch Dragon Ball Z. I used to run home to get the school bus to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I remember that.
So when I'm in my area and they're like, oh, we're going Brixton to do, let's say for example, £1 swimming and we're going cinema, I'll be like, nah, I'm staying in my house watching Fox Kids or watching whatever. And then I became good at a certain computer game. So there was a
What game was it?
Street Fighter.
All right.
So there was a place called Sega Zone in Brixton, but it could only be a certain level of gangster to go there. I'm the complete opposite. I'm an actual nerd, and I'm short, I'm small. So me going there, they would look at me like, "What's this guy doing here?" But
How tall are you?
Huh?
Sorry, how short are you?
I think I'm like a
That was
5'5".
cheeky.
On a
No,
good,
I thought you didn't understand what I said.
No, it was cheeky. It was cheeky.
on a good day, I'm a 5'5". So obviously I was probably like 5 foot then.
Yeah.
Then
Can I ask is your missus taller than you?
we're about the same height.
Okay.
So
I was cheeky on what I said.
No, I was just being nosy, to be honest.
No,
Why
but
is
she
that
didn't say anything when you said
It's
it.
not relevant. I just wanted to be nosy.
we so the place in Brixton, you have to be a certain level of gangster to go there. But obviously I'm going there and I'm good at the game. So these so-called, I can say so-called gangsters, these gangsters will look at me like, what's this guy doing in here? Why is he here? But when I would mash them up on the game, they'd be like, hold on a second. What's this? To the point where I would go there after school, my mum would be like, you've got no money, how you there? But they would pay for me to play the game. And they'll be like, nah, little man's gonna beat you. Little man's gonna beat you. I'd be like, well, this guy's not even good. I would only go and play if there's someone on the machine that would take them off. And then obviously I built a rapport with the gangsters and they would see me like, nah, man, I like you, man. And I'd go to certain places, they would see me and they know I'm not on the gang related stuff, but you know me from that area and you just associate me with that. So then I kind of get involved with them being a certain way, even though I'm not that way. Me being around them, it was just like, I know this guy. What you doing here? And then that's kind of my path now, to be fair. They know who I'm around. You know I'm not on that, but I'm
Associated.
yeah. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where my rough upbringing was. And then, like I said, when I went to secondary school, I met the wrong people. Because really, my mum wasted her money. Terms, like I think my mum was paying like £1,600 a term to send me to school. I'm going to school in shorts. It could be snowing outside. I'm in shorts because that's the uniform you have to wear.
Private school.
But when I did my test to get into the school, it was so easy to the point I'm like, this can't be what we have to learn. That this is impossible. I did this when I was 8 years old. So yeah, that's kind of where I went uphill and downhill at the same time. If that makes sense.
Are you also West Indian?
Yeah, from Barbados,
All right.
small island.
It's all relative. Or should I say Big Island?
Oh. Always getting on.
Are you Bayesian as well?
Huh?
Are you Bayesian?
No, I'm
Oh.
Jamaican, but you get
Oh.
some because I'm not.
We are the
Yeah.
main though, innit?
So you started pelting things when it is that you were in primary school.
Yeah.
Why? And why did it become a thing?
That's a good question. No one's ever asked me that. Do you know what? I used to, when I was going private school, I used to go to cricket. I used to do tap dancing. I did so much things, like rugby. There's always some sort of physical stuff that I was going on the weekends. So me throwing stuff, I guess it related to cricket and rugby. And I just used to do it. I used to do it in class, outside of class. I was always throwing stuff. I was wanting to learn how to throw a boomerang. Even on my Instagram reels, on my Explore page, it's men throwing boomerangs. I'm like, I still want to learn to throw a boomerang. At this big age that I'm at now, with multiple children, I want to learn to throw a boomerang. I want to go in the park and throw a boomerang and learn how to throw it and catch it. So
You should do that.
I don't know no one that can throw a boomerang. Nobody.
YouTube is there. TikTok is there.
Can you throw a boomerang, Jinx? Have you ever owned a boomerang? See? That's what I'm saying. Me go
Maybe
to my
as a
gangster
child.
friends and say, I want to throw a boomerang. They'll be like, bro, stop. Stop now.
But Brent's question, yeah, why are you throwing stones? Kid is a person. Kid does what he wants to do.
Stones?
No, when we said pelting stones when he was a kid, growing up.
I didn't know he was pelting stones in the classroom.
Now, what did you say you was throwing?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah,
stones.
stones and stuff.
Pencils, pens, whatever I can
Yeah.
find. I'm throwing it.
Stones?
Whatever I
Yeah.
can
Didn't
find,
he
I'm
even
We
talk
spoke
about
about this.
someone's car and they came and complained because he smashed the
I
window?
didn't ask him about stones.
Oh,
I don't know he was pelting stones in the classroom. You were
No,
pelting stones
not in the
classroom?
classroom. I'm throwing whatever I can find in the class. I'm throwing it. A rubber, a pencil, pen. I'm throwing it. 100%.
Just because it was there.
Just because. Just it's really bad.
Do you remember the first time you did it?
I remember in DT, there was a young girl called Neha. I remember like it was yesterday. I don't even know why I
she
tried
from?
to do it.
Sounds a bit.
She was Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a ruler. But it's like my friend was where you are.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to fold a ruler to him, to hit him. But it's like she got in the way of it. So I threw the ruler and it just split her head open in class. That was the first time I remember. Split her head clean open. I was like, oh my gosh. What do I do now? I can't even deny it. And I just had to, I remember I had to write a letter of apology to her parents and I think my head teacher at the time. So yeah, that was the first time I did it. That's what I remember.
So you felt a little electricity run through your body then, so you're like, let me continue this.
Yeah, so I've stopped now though. I don't throw stuff anymore. Maybe I stopped in the last, 10 years. Yeah.
That's just your day, though.
I know, it's bad, isn't it? It's bad. But when you when I see my kids throwing stuff, I'm like, I like that a little bit, which I shouldn't. I know it's bad. It's bad, and I know it's bad.
no, but he's an impulsive person.
1,000%.
And he does what he wants to do. And as much as there's negatives to it, there's a lot of positives to it. Because there's some things he'll just jump up one day and go, F this, I'm doing this. And then it will be a benefit to us. But then there's some days when he'll go, F this, I'm doing this. And it's to our detriment. You got to love and hate him, man.
And I stand on it. I was like, bro, if I do something and it don't work out, I'll be like, do you know what? I tried, it didn't work. Sorry, boys. But the younger me, I'm not standing on nothing. If I do something, you lot told me to do it. I'm making excuses. You lot said I should do it, and I done it. They'll be like, tell me I said it. I can't find it right now, but I feel like you lot told me that. That was the old me, or the young me, should I say.
Was it difficult for you to keep jobs while growing up?
I had a lot of jobs, Maybe. I used to be a postman. I jobbed the buses like Chinks did as well.
Why did you stop?
The postman job,
No, the bus.
the buses, it made me an aggressive person.
Road
That-
rage.
Yeah, but to the next level, to the point where I'm stopping the bus, I'm making everyone late for work.
It made you aggressive? You
Yeah,
were
yeah,
pelting
yeah.
rulers at people.
Yeah, I know,
primary
but
school.
that's different. That was a bit physical. I wasn't physical on the buses. I was more mental. Do you know that makes sense? So like, if people are, so for example, I remember there was one time a guy got on the bus. He was like, "Listen, mate, hurry up because I pay your wages."
Oh,
Oh, that's.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm
that's
turning off the
rude.
engine.
Yeah, it's rude. It's rude.
that
Being a bus driver would change
And
you
I
as a
said,
person.
I would definitely
First of
turn
all,
off that
if
engine.
the bus
and we
is
would
full
sit
or the bus is empty, I get paid the same amount of money. So there's your answer. And just for that, I'm gonna make you 10 minutes late. He's like, you can't do that. I said, watch me.
here.
Just sat there, put the handbrake on. People were ringing the bell. I said, the doors are open, get off. There's another bus coming 10 minutes. Right, look, you can see it on the headway. There you go. I'll show you where the bus is if you want. That's how I was on the buses. And I thought, you know what, this is not for me. And then I said to my mum was like, just stick it out. I was like, Mum, I can't do this one, man. It's making me an aggressive person. I don't like the person I'm becoming. And then my last day, I just quit mid-shift. Bus was full of people. Left it, middle of Camberwell, got off. Went to the office, gave my uniform, said, yeah, I'm done. They was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm finished. Not doing them. I was like, yeah, you still got another 6 hours. I said, no, you ain't. Done. So when she can say I'm impulsive and I do stuff that I want to do, he's not wrong. Not wrong at all.
And this is the longest relationship that you've been in?
No, I was in she likes to say 17 years. I say 16 years, but I wasn't faithful, man. I was outside. That's the mother of my first 2 children. She was like to be fair, I would say high school sweetheart, but my partner now, my first ever girlfriend was her friend in school. So I always subconsciously knew about this woman that I'm with now. I wasn't attracted to her, nothing like that, because I wasn't looking, but I remember her being around. So my partner, my first partner, we were together for, 15, 16 years. high school sweetheart. I was going to school to see her in the mornings. I'd be like, I want that woman. I want her. Or to say, I want that girl. Every day, I'm trying to talk to her. She's not having it. Remember, I got a number. And then the last time I said, you know what, to my brethren, I'm going to phone her one more time. If I don't see her today, I'm done. And that day I saw her. And then, yeah, we was together for like 15 years. But like I said, I wouldn't say I wasn't ready. I was childish. I was doing stupidness, like to the point where it's even embarrassing to say. I would hate my daughter to be someone like me back then. The person I am now is much better, but I had a lot of growing up to do, 100%. And yeah.
What sparked that?
Say that again?
The growing up, what sparked that?
I would say my daughter, definitely. She definitely made me look at women a different way, 1,000%. I was just saying, just the way that, like I said, I've got boys and girls. So when I saw, for example, when I saw my son fall over and hurt himself, I'd be like, just get out, man. Sort yourself out, man. You'll be all right. When my daughter fell over, I'm running over to her, picking her up. I'm putting a plaster on her leg. Like, and it could be the smallest thing, but I'm just like, no. The mum would be like, just stop. She's okay. I'd be like, no, she's not okay. We need to take her to the doctors now. Whereas my son would hurt himself, I'd be like, bruv, I'm not even going over to help you. You'll get up and be all right. So it's definitely, my daughter's definitely changed how I looked at women, 100%.
Can I ask a question? Has that then in turn made you think about how you'd want to raise your son?
Yeah, because I've got an 18-year-old, my daughter from the same mum, she's 13. I got one in the middle. I don't see, I spoke about it on different podcasts. The mum's a bit of a weirdo, but we get into another day. And I've got twins, a boy and a girl. So seeing them two together, it's definitely made me look at how I deal with them, because my son, he's more like, because he's around all girls. But I would have been more hard than him before, if that makes sense. So now he's got his sister around. I kind of treat them both the same way. Whereas before, my first son and my second daughter, I wasn't like that. I was definitely hard on my son, soft on my daughter. But now I treat them both the same. So if my son falls over, I'll treat him the same way that I treat my daughter. Like, pick him up, sort him out. My daughter falls down, same way. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you have a girl or boy, Chinks?
I've got a daughter.
Did it change your cheating ways?
No. That's bad. Nah, man. No, it didn't.
Oh, okay, so you do cheat.
I have prior.
As in, you still cheat.
You know, let me be honest. I've cheated in every relationship I've been in, man. To be honest, I can't even lie. But I'm getting better. I'm better. Amen. I'm a changed man now.
Are you? What makes you think you're a changed man now? Are you in a relationship now?
You know what? Because the person I'm with now, before, I cheat and it wouldn't mean nothing. I wouldn't have no feelings. I wouldn't really care. But then the last person I'm with, there's moments when, like, I could see how it made her feel and it triggered something in me. And I thought, after all she's done for me and how much time she's allowed me to fail, I have to do right by this person. And that kind of motivated me to want to stop this. And plus, it's long and stressful and it's headache. Like, I just want to be able to just leave my phone alone and not panic when, like, someone's near it and stuff like that. So I think maturing and having more care for the person I'm with has kind of changed that.
Growing up with your parents, did you have a good relationship with your parents?
With me, yeah, man. I had it sounds so toxic, but I had my parents weren't together, so it was good because I could kind of play them off each other. Do you know what I mean? So I could I weren't here when whatever happened between my mum and my dad, but there you could tell at some points when there would be issues, so I could use those issues to my benefit in either way. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I say I have a good relationship with them.
Okay. Have you got any, like, trauma-related instances with your parents growing up?
I don't think my mum used to beat me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really buy into I don't dwell on it. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm a dust yourself up and get on with it person. So I don't really lean into them things. Maybe I do, but did it bother me in life? I don't feel so.
Did you think links was necessary?
Yeah, man, I was a troublesome lad, and it helped in some instances. Yeah, I think I needed to be. I'm not a person who can. The discipline I respect at that point was physical. You couldn't just tell me not to do something and I'm going to listen. That didn't really scare me. I need to. I'm the person who had to feel it was hot. Do you know what I mean? So
What
yeah.
you kid?
Yeah, I probably the same, man. It's bad though, man. But like I said, my dad, growing up with my dad for the first 12 years maybe, and he had kids outside. But like I said, I've had kids outside, but I've done I don't know if you said it, Chinks. I don't know if Chinks said it. I've learned from my dad's mistakes. So my dad not making me meet my siblings, I've done the complete opposite of that. I've made all the families join together. This mum knows that mum, this child knows about this child. I didn't do what my dad did. Trauma related stuff growing up, not really. I just remember my mum and dad being together. I remember my mum kind of struggling at certain things. And when my dad wasn't around, I was like, where are you? What's going on? What's happening here? I'd phone my dad. My dad would answer the phone and be like, I'm at work. But really, he was other family. I'm just like, I'm not going to let that be the same narrative for me. Because even my son makes music now. And in his music, he mentions me and his mum splitting up. And he said, he said something about it's hard now that dad's not in the house, but I know he's just a phone call away. Now, with me, I kind of had the same kind of thing, but I didn't see my dad like that. And I'm glad that my son sees me like that because it's like, I don't want to be the guy that he thinks, oh, he split up my mum, he's got a new family now, he doesn't care about us. Whereas my brother definitely thinks that about my dad. 1000%. My brother didn't have my dad at all. Yeah, so.
How old were you when he found out that he had another family?
Late 20s. Because I remember going to my nan's house, obviously his mum, and there would be kids on the side, that on the mantelpiece. I'd be like, Nan, who is that? Why are these kids next to us in the pictures? She'd be like, when you get older, you find out. I was like, what do you mean by that? Obviously, I was too young to understand. Like, who are these kids? Who are these light-skinned kids? Sorry to say light-skinned, but you know. Who are these light-skinned kids?
It's only the truth.
Yeah,
I apologize.
obviously my dad was with a white lady. But I'm saying, who are these kids now? She'd be like, when you get older, you understand. And I was like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Sorry to
That
cut
was
you.
confusing.
I just read a comment. Yeah, someone said, "Imagine you was a pilot." And he said, "Fuck it, I quit."
I'll put a whole pilot and jump out of the plane. That's something that I'll do. I'll say, you lot ain't got to destination, I'm landing now. That's something
One
that
nose dive into the ocean. That's
something I'll do.
crazy.
But yeah, I'll say to my nan, like, who are these kids? What is this? And she'll be like, when you get older, you understand. And then maybe, even now, I went to my dad's, I think it was his 60th, and the siblings were there, and they didn't even get on with everyone. Obviously, I'm the peacemaker. I'm just like, Dad, sort this out, man. You're a big old man now. Like, you got married at 50 years old. I personally think that's too late.
It's never too late,
There's
man.
life to
50
enjoy.
years old to get married.
It's never
So-
too
Do you
late.
remember
If
when
he
he
was-
asked you, "Are you judgmental?"
There's life to be lived, no? It's still.
50 years old.
And if he lives, God willing, another 50,
Then what?
so he was meant to
Literally.
then spend the second part of his life doing nothing because you said it's too late.
He's at 50. He's found someone he wants to commit to and spend the rest of his
Has he?
life with. No, I asked your dad. I don't know him.
Crazy.
But is his wife a new person that you met like around 48, or is this the mother of his kids from the other family? That you
One of
mentioned?
the kids. But I feel like my dad's settled. I'll be honest. I don't feel like my. I wouldn't say I don't feel like my dad's happy because he's an old man now.
Yeah.
But I know how my dad was, and how him and my mum was. He doesn't have that with his wife now. No way. I've seen it. So, yeah.
All right. First question. Can a man truly grow without confronting past traumas?
You asking me?
Both of your Chinks and
I feel so. Because, you know, like YouTube.
Okay.
What do you call it? Like, you know, nowadays, yeah, you know, like old people of older generations, they'll say like we're snowflakes, we're getting softer. What is it? The pressure of our handshakes as men are getting weaker and stuff like that. So I think with terms of all that the people before us have done to put us in an easier state of living and stuff, yeah, I feel that everybody has this new newfound thing of wanting to be perfect and zen and come at one with all their traumas and get over everything and be a perfect Ned Flanders and let nothing bother them. I think that I don't really subscribe to that, innit? Maybe because I don't have as much deep-rooted issues as some people maybe, but I feel like whatever issues I've had growing up, they haven't necessarily hindered me in terms of my growth and success in my life, do you know what I mean? So I think, what's the need for me to want to go and uncover them? And do you know what I mean? Because I think I can come up with a logical explanation or notice something I do and just stop myself from doing it. Why do I have to go back to the root cause issue of what happened all the way when I was a child? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know that from, say for example, with terms of my partner, I've cheated before, that may be an issue and stuff like that of something to do with my childhood, but I don't need to go back and have some deep, in-depth conversation with every lady I've been with or my parents. I know from viewing the world from this perspective now of where I am and things I've done wrong, I just know that this is wrong and I should stop doing it. Do you get what I mean?
I get that. That makes sense. Because I do agree that I think it's great that everyone is obviously learning about all these things and people can go on YouTube, TikTok, whatever and learn. Do I think that sometimes people make a big problem out of things they don't really need to? Yes. I think you can still acknowledge that, okay, I've been through something in the past. I might not need to like dig too deeply into it. I can just see, okay, that happened. That might have led to this. I don't really like this anymore, so I'm going to do the work to change it. I think that's fine.
Yeah. I think that's the first time we've agreed, isn't it?
I think we've agreed.
I'm joking.
Kid and Emmanuel, do you think that a man can truly grow without confronting past traumas?
I personally don't, but you go first.
I think similar to what Ching said, like growing obviously implies there's some, I'm just going to use the same word, growth. So like to prevent it, if the trauma is something that hinders that, then yeah, but if the trauma or the thing that you're confronting isn't, then no. And sometimes the thing that you want to confront probably helps your growth. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that just is a stimulus in your life that makes you just get on with certain things. You know what I mean? And the average person may not have that particular stimulus. So I don't necessarily think you have to. And also, what does confronting it even look like?
My take on it, subconsciously, I feel like, say for example, let's use Jean, for example, going to the gym. And I don't know, 10 years ago, you put 20 kg dumbbells or whatever, 20 kgs on the Olympic bar and it fell on your head. Now, you know you're stronger than that weight. If you don't go to the gym and try it again, you're always going to be thinking, do you know what I mean? And that's just a basic example of confronting your trauma. If something's happened back in the day, like, for example, you're driving a car and a lot of people that have accidents in cars, they don't want to get a car again.
Yeah.
You have to get in the car and confront it. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to drive again. Yeah. So I feel like what Chinch was saying, I disagree to saying this. You have to confront it. Because if you don't confront it, you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna go past it. How?
What if you don't want to go to the gym anymore? What if you don't want to lift that 20 kg anymore?
Then it's just gonna be at the back of your mind all the time. So you can't grow.
Or maybe it's just something that wasn't necessary for growth.
Then if you go past it or go around it, that's a different level of growth, innit? But if you wanna go let's say you wanna go in a straight line, if you wanna do little bendy curves here and there, then I guess that works, innit? Whereas me, I think it's just easy to just confront it, deal with it, done.
You know, I sorry to cut, but you know what it is as well, because I think I'm going through, not me, but my dad's going through this now with my sister. So I've got an older sister, and she's not, I don't know what, she's not with anyone, innit? And she likes to blame my dad. She says she has abandonment issues because he wasn't there when I was growing up. But she, like me, I've never seen my mum with my dad. From when I was born, they weren't together. She had him for a while. Do you get what I mean? So she's had more of a father than me. And I've had successful relationships, and she hasn't. And she likes to want to... No, you're right. Go on.
Black people.
Go on, speak it, please.
I mean, you said you've had successful relationships, but a couple minutes ago, like earlier on, you said you've had a failed success rate, and also that you've cheated in every relationship.
Every single one.
But there was times when it wasn't discovered yet, and it was good.
So I
that
just
makes
wanna,
it successful.
We listen and we don't judge.
No, but
Judge me. I like judgment.
I just think, just be honest, isn't it? Because it is like you can't sit here and say it's been successful if you've, like you admitted earlier, you've cheated in every single relationship, and you even said yourself you said you've had a failed, like you said it. So
But what if I view a successful relationship with cheating? But not being
you
found out.
know, black people,
What, is that wrong?
my dear, it's,
Yeah, we had
it's your world.
Yeah, there's a couple episodes you can rewind.
What was I
back
saying
to
though?
see.
Yeah, like you can, like once one person can do something, like I'm foolish. I think I can beat Bolt in a race if I trained how he trained. So me, therefore, taking something that's happened a long time ago and making that my reason today why I can't do something seems a bit weak to me.
But then again, I think what you're forgetting is that you and your sister had different experiences. So just because your version has allowed you to have successful, relationships, and she hasn't, it's clearly impacted you guys differently. So do you get what I mean? I think that's what you're not taking into consideration, because I guess it sounds like the expectation is that she had a better experience, but how do you know her experience was better just because your dad was there? It doesn't necessarily mean that
She went private school.
I
Doesn't mean
understand
that
what you're
her
saying,
experience-
but
But
it's,
she was a journalist. She toured the world. Like he sacrificed a lot for her in order to have the life she lives. And now she's like in an older age, and she's turned around. And you know, maybe that example was bad. But what I was trying to get to is, at the end of the day, she wants to have conversations with my dad, but my dad don't want to have these conversations because having these conversations leads to speaking down on her mother. Do you get what I'm saying? So now you're at a point in your life where you can't get past something, and your whole progress is dependent on another person who doesn't want to do what you want to do. So are we going to be stuck here forever until this person wants to have this conversation with you, or are we going to tie up our boots and continue on our journey?
No,
But
that would be part of her. That would be part of her process, though. She would have to. You can try, and if the person doesn't want to, you'd have to then evaluate how much more do I want to try, and how much is it affecting my day to day. If it's really getting to her every day that my dad is not going to have this conversation with me, and there's no way it's going to happen, she needs to. We call it radical acceptance. This is outside
called
of
what?
Radical acceptance.
Okay.
So it's literally like, it is what it is. Like, it's literally that. Like,
I wanted to get there, man.
And that part of it might be something she has to radically accept, but then she can talk through the other stuff. Even if your dad was there, I don't know timelines and stuff, and she's had this amazing life, like, on the outside looking in, I guess. The way in which she's built what we call like a relational schema. So that's basically your guidelines of how you navigate the world in relationships. Isn't because your dad paid for private school. It's literally because of their relationship. It's a bit more complicated. So she can do some work to figure that stuff out. Maybe he doesn't want to have the conversation, and that's sad and that's hard. But it might be one of the things that she has to. I don't know. Your
I don't
sister.
think,
I don't
but
know.
I shouldn't have,
I'm just
because the
saying.
private school, because she's condemning him for the things he hasn't done, and I'm just trying to highlight the things he has done for her, because she's acting kind of spoilt, like he hasn't done things for her. Do you know what I mean? That's why.
And I
said
think
that.
I understand, and I get that quite a lot as well. And I think people think when we talk about like trauma, it's something been done to you, but sometimes it's the absence of something. An absence of something is also traumatic.
Do you know what's mad? Yeah, I believe in accountability so much, innit? My life is my life based off my decisions, innit? I don't like to be viewed as a victim in life, innit? So some people sit down and let stuff that happen kind of, like, look at Oscar Pistorius. I say this all the time. The guy had no legs. He won a 100-meter sprint at the Paralympics. So if he can do that, like, you're telling me that you're just going to let the circumstances of your life not let you get to where you need to. Like, I feel that's a bit weak.
I wouldn't use the same word, but I can see
What's
what
a
you're
better
saying.
word?
To the screen.
Oh. What's his book? Who sends this?
Shall I read it out?
Is that to me?
So, my own royalty, big up Esther. She says, it sounds like he also has abandonment issues because low-key, he resents his sister for having their dad longer than he did.
I can see why what I said says that, but I don't resent my sister, honestly. Like, she's helped me with a lot in my life, do you know what I mean? I just think she's ungrateful because, like, imagine, look, you're 5'5", I'm a bit taller than you. Imagine me going to you, I wish I was taller. Do you get what I mean? Do you understand what I'm, like, you've had, what you're complaining about, you've had more of it than me. Why are you saying this to me? Does that mean I resent her?
Does that mean you resent her?
Yeah, because from the comments, she's saying that I resent my sister for having my dad longer than I did. But I'm more highlighting it for her ungratefulness.
Maybe you resent how she's reacted to a circumstance you wish you had.
Is resent the right word though?
Is it the right word? This is your experience.
Nah, she said I was resenting. I don't think I resent my sister. And me personally, yeah.
But there's something
I don't want to grow with my dad. He was quite strict.
Okay, fair.
I
But
kind
there's
of
something
like
about the
not
ungratefulness.
living with him.
There's something about the ungratefulness that really bothers you.
Yeah, I don't like ungrateful
What is that?
people.
What is that?
What about people being ungrateful?
What does that mean?
What ungrateful
If someone
mean?
is not the word, but what does it mean to you? Someone's ungrateful. What does that what comes out of you? What does that evoke in you?
Ungratefulness.
If you perceive someone as being ungrateful, it bothers you. What is it that is? What is the feeling under that?
Yeah,
I think
you did that to me as well.
I think it's a bad trait.
Why is it so bad? What?
Because like it could always, like everything you're complaining about and having an issue for, there's someone who would die to, like there's people that risk their life, go on boats and dinghies across the ocean to make it to a certain place to have a better life, and you're in this life complaining.
Right. So I'm hearing like it's not fair. You've had maybe a better thing than someone else, and that's not fair.
No,
You're now ungrateful because you've had something better, and you're complaining this person isn't. So that to me sounds like it's not fair.
How can I explain? It just seems weak. Like how can you, like, I can't use the words because is being ungrateful not a negative thing?
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm genuinely asking because I don't have trouble explaining myself, but I have trouble explaining why being ungrateful is bad because I thought it was just a common thing.
Yeah, but it's bothering. Like it really bothers you that your sister's being ungrateful.
Not just people in general.
Okay, there's something. Okay,
Yeah, like
He done it to me yesterday.
what's that? What's that?
Because we was here yesterday to do another podcast, and I was like, I'm not messaging him to find out if we're gonna be on the show or not. Then he kind of went off one, but because I know Chinks now, I know his character. When he goes off, you got to just leave him to just go off. Because if you feed into it, he's gonna keep going back and forth, and before you know it, we're not going to do the show now.
Okay.
Because it could have easily went that way. So when I was like, you know, I'm just gonna message him because he messaged. What did he say? What did he say to me again? I said I'm not gonna message him, and he was like, bro, look at what they've done for us. Look at this. They don't have to do this. They don't have to do this. I was like, right, he's listing loads of different things that meant nothing to do with anything. I didn't say nothing about it. I just said I'm not going to message this person to find out if we're going there because I feel like he should have messaged me if he wants us on the show. He's like, so he went to the word ungrateful to something. He didn't say it, but I know that's what he meant. So you do it subconsciously. You don't even know you're doing it.
So let's use that situation for an example, yeah? So we are going to film here yesterday with No Behaviour, big up them, yeah? And we filmed with 3 shots on Tuesday, big up them as well. So when we arrived, they were leaving, innit? So Loons has said to us, yeah, forward on Thursday, innit? So cool. We're a smaller podcast, they're a bigger podcast. They have a big platform. So it's beneficial for us to be on their podcast, innit? But on this particular day, he's saying, I'm not messaging them. And I'm like, it's more beneficial for us to message them because it helps us more than it helps them being on their platform. But because, I don't know whatever, you don't want to message them on top of that. And then secondly, they've done so much to help us and give us advice and help us in our journey as podcasters. You're going to harbour him not messaging you and have an issue with it. Do you get what I mean? When they've done so much stuff to help us. Even when I asked you about Brent, like, when people do stuff to help you, I don't like having malice towards people for that. Like people that are helping you, you should champion that and reward that. And if something does go wrong, give them the benefit of the doubt because everybody remembers. Like what is it? They remember the no, but they forget all the yeses. Like, do you know what I mean? I just like why am I wrong for thinking ungrateful people are bad?
I don't actually think it's wrong, but what I'm trying to get to, and this isn't to say that isn't something that everyone experiences. If you think someone's being ungrateful, of course it's annoying. But I'm just saying that potentially, just going off of the message, obviously there's more like context, etc. Potentially there's something about it for you particularly that makes that annoyance more than just annoyance. It could be something that's really infuriates you, something that is really like makes you resentful. That's all I'm saying. And it doesn't actually mean it's a bad thing. I'm not prescribing any morality to it. I'm just saying that's your experience, potentially.
And you've made it your mission to now, like, point it out to make sure that they know this is what you're doing and you don't like it.
Yeah, but should you not want
it? You've put a cape on to be all right, I need to basically change his thinking on this particular thing because I don't think he understands that this is not where he should be.
And Chinks is a very man of his word. Whereas I wouldn't say I'm not a man of my word, but if I can't do something or I don't want to do something for whatever reason, I'm not doing it. If Chinks tells you he's going to be here at 6 o'clock in the morning, whether he's got to get here by a tractor, he is going to be here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Whereas me, I'm saying, Brent, I got to drive a tractor, bro. I can't make it. Chinks is going to make it.
So that probably shows that means it can drive sometimes anger, but sometimes it means you want to show up for people. It drives like a positive thing as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but and then, you know, it's just in life, it's rewarding. Like, if you're not grateful for what you have, you'll never have more. Like, do you know what I mean? I think a lot of people are unappreciative and just ungrateful. And that's the reason why they're not getting anywhere in life. And then they're quick to point fingers at everybody else, but then it's like, what are you actually doing yourself? Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Like, I just think, I want everybody to have a happy life and be progressive and move forward. And I don't think being ungrateful is a trait that's going to help that. So I just try because I've been ungrateful at times in my life before, and my dad, who I respect and appreciate, has pulled me in line, and it's made me a better person. So I think I'd be a bad person if I see someone doing it and don't try and do the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on that example that you gave a kid about no behavior yesterday, it's interesting because when Loons says something, like, he's already clocked that. You don't need to basically message him again.
Yeah,
so
no.
in that instance, it was good for you to basically like tell him not do it if you have a doubt, because Loons wasn't thinking about.
Yeah, because when I messaged him,
it
he
was
was like,
confirmed.
bro, of course, are you a gal? That's what his reply. Are you a gal? I was like, cool. I'll be there at 9 o'clock.
But on that, is pride a virtue or a hindrance for a man?
Pride.
And when should it be set aside? Because was it like not pride that kind of had you saying, he should have sent me a message?
I think it's due to just my upbringing, man. Like, my mum is a very prideful woman. She always said to me, even if you ain't got no money in your pocket, don't make no one know that. And I didn't really understand that until kind of like the later days. Whereas now it's kind of okay to say you're broke. Does that make sense? Like, people want to portray an image that they've got no money now because it brings the wolves out, as people like to say. So I've always been on the thing like, listen, you don't know what I've got in my pocket, man. I'm good. I'm always going to be good. So maybe it's stemmed now to me not wanting to ask people, because even down to our podcast, getting certain guests, Chinks would be like, just ask them. I'd be like, I'm not doing that. Even being in the public eye, taking pictures of certain people, I'm not doing that. It's like, bro, but we need the content. You're a content creator. Like, I'm getting better at it now, but before, absolutely no way. Like, make that be 5 years ago, and Loon said, yeah, pull up Thursday, and message him on Thursday. No way. Absolutely no way. And then when I see him next time, he'd be like, bro, why don't you pull up? But you didn't message me. He'd be like, why should I have to message you? He'd be like, otherwise I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't come down. And I think that's kind of where my life was at. I'm getting better at it now. And like I said, Chinks definitely helps me with it. So
I think you more help me with that, to be honest, because that's something I need to get better at. Because why am I telling you to do something I could easily do? But it's the fact that you have that fuck it mentality, why you do it, and it benefits us. Because this is why I think our podcast is so good, because what I'm weak at, you're strong at, and vice versa. Because the amount of guests we wouldn't have if it wasn't down to you having that mentality of just saying fuck it and asking the person.
But that's impulsive as well at the same time.
No, but it's good though, man, because I don't know if it's my pride as well, why I don't want to. I have a real issue asking people for stuff. Like, it's a real bad thing. Like, do you get what I mean? And there's times I'll struggle, and like, say you said that, like, I'd drive a tractor here. I could just ask for a lift. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's to my detriment at some times.
But then me, on the flip side of that, I generally don't care what people think. Like, so if I'm asking you to do something, you don't do it, like, okay.
But yeah,
go on.
Pride, there's moments where it's good and there's moments where it's bad, innit? Some things you shouldn't accept and say, because like, when I'm going through some things and I'm like dwelling over issues that I'm letting someone, like, say for example with women, and I'm there's a woman I like and she might be exhibiting a behaviour I don't like, and I sit down and I think, hold on, my grandparents left Jamaica on a boat, came all the way here to give me a better life, and I'm just letting these people treat me like this. Do you get what I mean? So there's sometimes in that it gives you the power to step out of negative situations, but there's sometimes when your pride can kind of hold you back from your blessings. So it's about balance, I suppose, really.
Do you agree, Manuel?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I feel like pride is essential, man. Like I feel like I resonate with what you said your mum said. Like I'll tighten my belt before I ever ask people for assistance and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, why does anyone need to know that I need this or that? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's also me just understanding how human beings are. I don't ever want to be in a situation where someone can use something against me. Not interested in it. You know what I'm saying?
Hurts, innit? It's not
You know what I'm
nice,
saying?
man.
But that's
It's not
ego.
nice.
That's ego then.
It might be ego, but it's also just, it's unnecessary and it's all in my control. You know what I'm saying? Why do I have to give you something that you don't value as much as me, and then potentially because of how you are or could be,
You could lose control.
you throw it back at me? Why?
So you could lose control.
It might be that, but
That's scary.
What do you mean?
He just said, why would I have to make it within my control? If I give it to someone else, they now have an element of control over me in some way. They could use this information in a certain way.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That kind of thing. So you're now giving control to someone else.
Or maybe
We don't
you
like
just-
being out of control. No one likes being out of control. It's
What
scary.
if you just don't want people speaking negatively about you?
And it's absolutely a possibility.
So is that being controlling?
No, yeah, but that's what I mean. That would be something that you're out of control of because you've given them something. I'm out of control of what they say, where this information goes, what they do with it, what they do to me. I'm out of control.
Yeah, me, I'm the opposite. I don't care. I generally don't care how you take it, how you react, whatever you do after. Couldn't care less. Maybe that's a hindrance to a certain extent. Whereas if I did care, I wouldn't give them that information anyway, like how you're saying. Yeah.
I think it's about balance, no?
I think both situations can be bad. Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you can be so scared that someone could do something with the information to the point where now you're in debt, like for however long, and maybe sacrifice your family's assets because of their debt. You know, I'm not saying that's something you would do, but that's something that some people could do because they're so scared of being able to trust people. But
Gina,
that's a
they'll
bad
ask them for
thing.
proof of life.
But sometimes, huh?
Gina, ask them for proof of life.
They're asking what?
Proof of life. Saying that Gina left.
I didn't even know she was going to be into this, to be honest.
Oh, you always say that.
Hold up.
Do you know what it is?
Are we
Because I
paused?
really need to go. Let me go to the toilet, please. It's just I didn't want to disturb.
I actually have to go, man. Unfortunately, man.
Oh,
Yeah, I wish I could stay a bit longer. But yeah, I've enjoyed myself. You guys definitely need to come back, man.
I enjoyed it.
you've done too many 5-hour stints. That's why you lot have been
Yeah,
doing shows
maybe.
for like 5 hours for the last
Yeah.
however
real.
long. There's
Okay, let me read this out. Dorcas says, if you could ask the guest if when he was younger, did he have people not show up for him?
Must be to you.
In terms of me, probably, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, probably. But then I had people show up for me as well. So yeah, I think, yeah, maybe. I don't remember. I don't dwell on. Maybe, yeah, probably. Probably.
This is actually a real therapy session, man. I feel like I'm leaving here lighter.
that's my job.
You're good at your job. Are you expensive? Thought so.
So from your expertise, is there anything you've like analysed from us?
Sorry, can you please be patient?
Oh, sorry. So is that not on?
No, it's on, but I'm just changing something around.
Oh, are we paused?
We haven't posted anything.
Oh, sorry.
We got a problem with
still
taking
hear
over.
us?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
they
course.
can.
Oh,
We got a problem with taking over the show. That's what it is. No, it is, Brent. When we got rubbish guests, yeah,
Yeah.
we just take over
So you'll have to do a lot of heavy lifting all the time.
all the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think that's where Chinks' mind is at right now.
Ah, okay.
in terms of.
As in, yeah, take care, brother. Love.
Bye.
Do you know I'm gonna move, Brent?
That's all right. Your seat?
Yeah.
Oh, is this your spot?
No, I'm gonna sit in the regular seat, which originally was mine. But
Can I sit here? Because my tush is starting.
Yeah, you can. Might have to adjust the camera.
his or yours?
No.
The comments are funny, you know. I like.
all this romance needs to stop.
I know. I see
No,
that.
I like the program. No, I've actually liked this. You know,
It's refreshing.
it's really refreshing. I liked. You lot have been really open with each other. Like
I can tell
like
that
it.
you have a very accountable friendship.
Yeah.
No, he's
It's a
definitely
nice
made me more
friendship.
accountable as well. Before I wasn't.
That's good.
Before I wasn't.
All right, next question. What legacy of masculinity do you want to leave behind? Do you want it to reflect tradition, progress, or a mix of both?
Sorry, what was the options?
Let me just adjust this camera again. I need you to stay still, yeah?
Sorry.
All right. What legacy of masculinity do you want to leave behind? First question.
I just want men to be men again, man. I just want men to be masculine, take accountability, don't blame the world for where they're at, and know that they're the leaders in charge of their own life. And everything that happens to you and doesn't happen to you, you can take control of and make a positive of it. And anything anyone else can do, you can do.
All right,
Does that
so
answer your question?
the question, you answer it first to see if it is that you get the same thing from me answer that question, kid. I'll ask again. What legacy of masculinity do you want to leave behind?
I think men should have a balance, personally. Like, don't do too much where you're gonna kill yourself, because this is the issue with, like to say in the black culture nowadays, the suicide rate is high because you're doing too much. You think I gotta do it. You can put your pride and ego to the side for a little piece and get help elsewhere, because being masculine, all I hear is, like, for example, when women say, oh, I've got to be more masculine, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I just feel like you're taking on the man's role. So the man being more masculine is putting more pressure on himself, which could then lead to him having a mental breakdown or some sort of mental illness. So I'm saying just have a balance, put your pride and ego to the side, and ask for help.
Can we have some horns? I wanted horns for that.
Horns? Oh.
Yeah.
100%. All right, so Chinks, masculinity back in the day and masculinity now. What's the difference in your mind?
I think there was more masculinity back
Define
then than there
masculinity
is
for me.
now.
What did it look like?
Can I just get the definition?
Oh, you just want the definition.
Yeah.
I just want
No,
you
I
not
look
to have
for
a
the-
definition. I want you to tell me what you think it was and what you think it is today. Because I think you said, in response to my question, you want men to be more masculine.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not, because I'm generalizing to a degree, but it's just there's certain things of, like, let me think of an example. Like, to not say any names, so there's a person I know, yeah, he's like, I think accountability is a masculine trait, I think. So like, I've got a friend, he doesn't take accountability for nothing. Do you get what I mean? Why are you looking at me like that? You're scaring me.
No, it was an interesting thing you said. So you think it's a masculine trait? Accountability.
Yeah. Because a lot of women that I've come across and experience I've had with them, they have a problem with accountability. So they'll like, let me give you a real life example. So me and someone had a we're having a discussion, it got a bit heated and they started being a bit disrespectful. We didn't speak for a while, and then a few days later, we've met up, and instead of being accountable for her actions, she didn't address it, she just rewarded me. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. I think we're laughing at what's the rewards?
I was trying to be PG. But yeah.
What was the rewards? I'm sorry.
Use your imagination.
I didn't have one today.
Oh, that's a shame.
Let me think.
You can't remember?
Horizontal stuff.
Oh, you just had sex?
Yeah, boy, it was passion.
Special.
It was special. It was special.
So special.
It was an
special,
apology.
special.
It was apology.
Did it work? Did you forgive her?
Of course you did. That was her best move. He had nothing left. He didn't know what to do. She checkmated him.
Yeah. Did I forgive her? We're amicable. I still have an issue with it, but it's a sore subject and we'll probably end up having an issue again. So I probably won't bring it up.
Do you agree that accountability is a masculine trait, kid?
Yeah, I do. And sorry to go back to your question before, what I think it looks like back in the day to how it looks now. I have to judge it by how my granddad was. And my granddad was always the man that was out bringing the money back. That's all I remember my granddad doing. And coming in late at night, waiting, like my nan would do breakfast at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like you just hear the frying pan at 4 a.m. My granddad's, I have to wake up at 4 a.m. even though I got school, go in the room, take off my granddad's boots, wipe them down. I remember he used to say it needs to look like dogstone. Now dogstone I'm guessing in Barbados or Western means it needs to look like a dog has weed on his shoes. That's how clean, and that's how shiny he wants his shoes to look. And if they didn't look a certain way, I would get beat with a belt. And the belt had spikes in it. Yeah. So masculine traits to me, how my granddad was, is being assertive. How it looks now, it's very not that. But I kind of want it to go back to that, if that makes sense. That's why I'm saying the men should kind of have a balance more, because it's too pushed. Does that make sense, Brent? You know what I'm saying? What was the next bit you said? Sorry.
So it's forced onto us.
Yeah. So now that is forced onto the women. They have to. I don't want women to be like my granddad. Does that make sense?
So what is forced onto the women?
The masculinity
By
being a certain way.
by society or by the men that they're with? What is it?
I want to say it's a balance of both, man. Because I'm going to sympathize with women now. I feel like they're forced to be a certain way. They don't really have a choice because the man is not being like how my granddad was.
Okay. I want to definitely get back to the accountability being a masculine trait, because I'm not sure if it is that you women agree, Gina and Dr. Amani.
That what accountability is a masculine trait?
Yeah.
I've never ever thought of it like in that way, and I don't think that it is. How close do you want the mic to be?
Just in front of you, man.
Because
You're childish.
very. Yeah, I've never considered it to be a masculine trait, to be honest. I'm not gonna say that I think it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Don't think so.
No. I find it interesting that a lot of men think women can't take accountability.
Do you know how easy it is to take accountability, though? To say it's your fault.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe it's because I'm thinking about myself. But then again, someone would say I'm a bit more on the masculine side. So...
But let me, because I'm willing to be wrong, though. It's not like my word isn't law. I'm just speaking of my experiences. Do you get what I mean? So, of course, it's possible for women to be accountable. I'm not saying it's a blanket statement. It's just my experiences, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think
assaulted.
No, I don't think I've considered it to be a masculine trait, to be honest.
Doesn't pride hinder you from being accountable sometimes?
Yes, me.
No, the chinks.
Oh.
No.
Really?
No. So am I not prideful because I'm accountable? Because so is there a difference between pride and ego? Huh?
I believe there's crossover.
Because I think ego is bad. Pride can be good. So I think you're taking. Are you taking pride by being accountable? No, I don't think they contradict. Because if I make a mistake and I go, hold on, this is my mistake, and I take responsibility for it and be accountable, that shouldn't affect my pride, should it?
No. I mean, in certain circumstances, 100% you could say that. Throughout your life, you have never been stubborn behind a point where you were wrong?
Yeah.
And that's a lack of accountability, right?
Yeah.
And you feel like that was a feminine trait?
Yeah,
Oh, serious?
yeah.
Oh, all right. So that's why it is that you are accountable now, because you realize that it was a feminine trait and you don't want to have any feminine traits.
Yeah, but I don't want to make it seem like feminine traits are negative or anything. But yeah,
Well, you've just essentially said it's innately a woman thing.
not innately. I don't think I use that
I
word.
think it's because using the word trait insinuates that these things are innate. As in, like, you were just, because you were born a man, you have these characteristics. I think that's where
No, that's not it.
confusions come in. And that's why I don't think,
No, it's
to
not.
answer the question, I wouldn't
sorry.
say it's a, it was a masculine trait. I just think it's a trait that or a thing that everyone can do.
No, because I know loads of men, because I attribute me being accountable to my dad, who is a man's man who's from a different generation, who's made sure he's instilled that in me. So I'd attribute that to the type of man that raised me, why I'm accountable, than just being born with a penis.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I noticed there's a lot of men who don't have that same accountability. And I can see where growing with my mum, because I grew with my mum, but then there was a point when I got too big for her to discipline. And then we had an incident, and within the week I was living with my dad. And I could see all of the traits so say for example, my mum's never ever told me she's disappointed in me. I'm my mum's golden child, there's nothing I can do wrong. But then when I was with my dad now, there was like, I disappointed him many times, and there's loads of things where he held me accountable for, and he wouldn't allow me to make excuses. Do you get what I mean? So I can see from the way my mum was raising me, how I would grow up to not be accountable, and how when my dad got a hold of me, how he made me accountable.
So it's a learned thing. Like, I think we're just getting into like the semantics of saying a masculine trait, I think. Because when someone says something's like a masculine trait or feminine trait, I think the implied thing is that you're you're just born and then that's it, you have it. So what you're saying is, no, it's something that I've learned.
From a man though.
Yeah, and
I don't feel my mum could have taught me that.
A woman might have learned it from another woman, or she might have learned it from another man. I don't know. She would
Well,
have
I
learned
see- I
it. It's
see
just
what
something
you're
you just
saying.
learn. You
But
just learn it.
down the line, ain't there a man teaching the original person? Because I don't feel a woman can teach a man how to be a man, and a man should be accountable.
But we were talking about the trait of accountability. I'm just saying, no matter how it gets there, everyone can do it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I think everyone can do it. Like, if it's not there in a man or a woman, of course it causes problems. But I think
I think it's just in this day and age, it's just shocking to hear a woman being accountable. Because like even down to social media, there'll be like memes going around, and they'll have like, for example, the word accountability on the table, and no woman can pick it up. For example, that's one of the memes.
But do you know what? I'm so interested as to how we got there, though.
Where would you mean?
Being-
Like, as in,
being a
like,
female
the
trait.
narrative being that women can't take accountability.
It happened in this room though. Like we what was the thing he was talking about? You grew up around men and stuff like that. Instead of just saying this is the way I am and I need to change it, you went into explaining the reason why you are that way.
Yeah, but
Do you get
that's
what I
not
mean?
that's not blaming it on men, though.
No, I'm not saying blaming it on men, but
Yeah, but to me being accountable is being able to identify, like, do you get what I mean? I'm self-aware, so I'm able to identify why I am the way I am.
yeah, but
Do you
if
get what I mean?
if you continue being that way, you're not really being accountable, are you?
Yeah, but I don't have an issue with. Remember, I don't have an issue with being quote unquote masculine. So it's not something that I need to change. So it's not. Do
true.
you get what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not a. I get what you mean, but I don't think that situation was.
I think it kind of relates to like a woman saying sorry as well.
No,
That's
I get
accountability.
that.
Mm.
I get. This is what I'm saying. I get that. I just didn't. I didn't think the example you gave was one of me not being able to take accountability personally. But yeah.
Do you find it hard to say sorry, Chinks? And also, did you, when accosted by each of your girlfriends about your cheating, did you admit that you were cheating?
I had no choice. I had hardcore evidence, but
Or every single time?
no, not every single time.
So
but
the
no,
times when it is that wouldn't had evidence, did you dodge and weave a bit for as long as it is you could?
yeah, of course. I grew up when Shaggy "It Wasn't Me" was a hit song, so no, I'm joking. But I don't think I have an issue saying sorry. If I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong, but I have to believe I'm wrong. I'm not just here saying it for willy nilly. You know what I mean? But then again, I'm being a hypocrite. Because I'm being a lie because there have been times when I've just said it to make.
I know
stuff
that
brush
they
it
have,
over,
and
yeah.
I wanted to know if it is that you would look to police your lies, but in this particular moment, you're basically trying to attach lack of accountability to just women. So
To just men or just women?
a lack of accountability to just women.
Based on my experiences, though, and probably the type of women I've come across in it, but I've met accountable women. And you know what it is? Look, one thing about my sister, she's not being very accountable. But
I don't know. I've met equally as many men who find it hard to say sorry
yeah,
than women. I've met as many men who find it hard to be accountable as I have women. And obviously within the confines or framing of a relationship, it gets a bit more annoying. And
yeah.
So now you're saying that, Brent, I've probably met more men that are not accountable. But because I'm not looking at them like that, do you know what I mean? Because I was definitely that guy that would not say sorry. Or if I'm in the wrong, I'm blaming every single thing other than myself. But Chinks, you might be the same, you know.
What,
You
sorry?
might have met more men, that are not accountable.
Meeting men is not a pause.
Is a bit.
Meeting someone is not a pause.
In our world, it is. We have a
Sorry,
very toxic environment
Sorry,
and
sorry.
audience.
That's also childish.
Sorry, you're
I'm
right.
proudly
It
childish,
was.
though, man.
Very.
I think that's helped me a lot in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be... Like, I don't just take stuff too serious. Like, I like to enjoy myself and have fun. I want to be remembered when I die as a guy who's always laughing. Do you know what I mean? I think it's helped me in life and keeps me young. Like Ian Wright. You know, like how he's a grown old man, but he still understands us to a degree. I want to be that type of elder, not the old guy. Oh, look at you kids do that. Like, I don't want to be that type of person.
Love that.
question. How do you approach fatherhood or mentorship as a black man?
To me,
Yeah.
I'm not black,
do you,
so I
do
can't
you,
speak.
all right, that's the thing. Do you call yourself a black man?
I'm mixed.
What do you call yourself?
Mixed.
All right, good. Just apply that same thing to you, right? Just change it with mixed. Or should I
Does
say
colour come into it, though?
of course it does. It's got everything to do with your upbringing, bro. 100%. So how you was raised, you're gonna naturally do that to your child, or the opposite.
So sorry to answer a question was a question. Is being a good Caucasian father different to being a good black father?
I think there would be differences in the things that you have to consider. You, as much as you'd want to control what happens in your household, and obviously you should, everyone should. When they go out into the world, there's a whole different thing at play. And those are things that you're going to have to consider. So raising a white man, raising a white child, and let's control for like all different variables, like class and whatever. And then a black man raising a black child in the same environment, that black child might have to go out there, son in particular, and think, and that father has to think, oh, what if my son gets stopped by the police? The white man might not think that, probably doesn't think the same thing.
You know, on that same page, just to spoil off that, my friend, obviously my son turned 18 the other day. My friend messaged me, he's like, well done, bro, well done. I was like, well done for what? He's like, your son made it to 18 and he's not involved in no street crime or nothing like that, because by that time, I was in jail for a gun, not me. That's what my friend was saying. I was like, is this our community? It's not even, it's bad. So that same thing what you're saying about the Caucasian and the black, Brent, back to your question. I don't even like being that stigma that I have to raising my son as a black man, that he's got to live a certain way or be a certain way. I don't even like
Sad,
it.
isn't it?
It's
It's
sad.
proper sad, man.
That's very sad.
And I think this, like I'm mixed in it, but my dad's black. I grew up around majority black people. Majority of my family is black people who I grew with in it. So when I was growing up, I never felt there was a point when my uncle said to me, like, he was like, yeah, like you're a bit too dark to just be out there living your life willy-nilly and stuff like that. You're viewed different and stuff like that. And like when he said that to me that day, like it kind of saddened me, like, to a degree. It kind of put a negative connotation on what I am, and I'm just like, nah, like I am who I am. Like and then bearing in mind, while he's saying stuff like this, I've got Caucasian family who will do anything for me. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's just like it put a pill and a plant in my mind And then it was like, it kind of became like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to, like, I'm silly, innit? And I feel that everybody should just be everybody and everybody should be treated equally and colour shouldn't matter and we all should be one, the human race, innit? And I want to raise more people with that mindset instead of more people with a segregation mindset. Do you get what I mean? So this whole raising people based on, like, because...
But I guess my question to you, though, yeah, and I hear that, and that's obviously a lot more positive, but I feel like in you doing that, and if you choose to, I guess, not make or raise your children being aware of how society, because remember, this is you, but unfortunately society doesn't view like society's view is not that we're all one human race, like realistically, like even in the workforce, like there's loads of things that there's a lot of underlying things and tones and stuff that generally if you speak to people, their experiences are going to be different. If you ask someone corporate, a black woman's corporate experience, a white woman's corporate experience, like things as what might be minor to someone, but even black women changing their hair and going to work, right? That's a massive thing in the black community. Like loads of people have spoken about how obviously naturally we change our hair all the time as part of our community and our culture, but I've seen so many TikToks where women like do comedy sketches about like the anxiety they go through walking into the office after a weekend of getting their hair done. Like just those little things, right? And you might not think that's a thing, right? But like that's the reality of how society is. So you not, I guess, equip it, like giving them the tools to be able to navigate that. Do you not feel that might not be a bit, not harmful, but do you understand what I mean? Like if you completely ignore it, is that not also being a bit harmful? Because as much as you want to ignore it, it exists, and society is what it is.
In terms of so let's say, for example, if all black women was to simultaneously say one day, we're not doing this no more, we're coming in with how our hair is and we're not changing, what happens then?
But it's not, the thing is, black women do change their hair. It's not like we don't.
No, but
do you understand what I mean?
But you see the connotation behind it of your natural hairs, I don't know, it's not, what's the word? Professional or whatever this nonsense is, yeah. If we all just one day say, we're not playing by these rules no more, either you accept us how we are or we're not involved. We'll go build our own infrastructures and stuff where we don't need to conform to what you want. I personally think that's better for, I don't want to say us because people say, oh, you're saying you're not black, but for black people, than having to change who you are to fit into a structure that doesn't accept you for what you are.
But
are we not able to do? But so you're talking about like protest and just being like, fuck the system kind of thing. Sorry.
Yeah, my dad was Nation of Islam though, so I've been dying to burn my passport and go to war. Nation of Islam.
You should have said that before Emmanuel left.
Do you know Emmanuel was a
Oh
proper
my
like?
God, he
I
would
swear
have loved
down.
you.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
You and him are brethren.
Yeah, so I've been dying to burn my passport and go to war.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I'm there at it. So this.
Okay, so that's. But if we're thinking about realistically now,
That's
I think
what I was
maybe
gonna
we
say.
can
How
do
realistic
both.
is it?
So in the household, what I'm trying to say is you can do in the household, you can empower your young black child to know their value outside of what people say, but also acknowledge that they're going to go to a world where they're going to have to navigate it a little bit differently and teach them about that whilst doing whatever you want to do. And that might be talking about Nation of Islam or being radical in terms of how you like change systems.
No, you're probably right. Maybe I just live on a cloud too much, man. I just think. I just don't like it, man. I just don't like it putting a connotation on someone. It's just, but it's not fair, man. I just don't like that. It's just not fair, man.
Do you know what it is? Life ain't fair though, man. Like it's not, and it sounds harsh, but it is what it is. Like
because then, like, we get into that realm where, like, because I've grown up beige a long time, innit? Like, my cousins are dark skinned, and they've always like I've had cousins who say to me like, oh, it's this because you're light skinned, and it's only this because you're light skinned, and this stuff is because you're light skinned. I'm just like you only feel this way, like and I'm just like, bro, like, no matter what shade I was, I'd still be as amazing as I am. Like, no one of no color or whatever shade there is better than me, and you should have the same attitude as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't, like, why are you telling me that this is because of my color? What's wrong with your color? Do you get what I mean?
I hear it and I agree, but I guess also the difference is if you've experienced things differently because of your color, you can't ignore that to be a fact. Do you get what I mean? Like
what though?
Because essentially it's like if I was to go with that approach, and I'm saying colorism doesn't exist, but it does. Like we know that it does. So if we're gonna sit here and say that it doesn't, I feel like that's being like that's a harmful conversation.
But what do you mean by colorism?
Like preferential treatment based on the color of your skin. It's a thing.
Would you rather your child be privy to that information?
Yes.
If they're gonna go,
So
do you know what it is?
before we move on though, so am I not, by these people saying to me these things and like attributing my confidence and success with the opposite sex down to my colour, is that not colorism on their behalf?
Say that again, please.
So say for example, when it would be like people would always tell me, oh, this girl's only interested in you because you're light skinned and this stuff like this, yeah. But then I'm just like, what? Like I notice, like I don't think this sounds a bit big headed. I think I'm beautiful not because of my colour, because of what I look like. Do you get what I mean? And I think I've met pause as well, black men who have success with women because they're attractive men, and they don't justify. They don't have that. They don't have to justify why they're not getting the women they want, and I am, by using my color as a positive and their color as a negative. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I lost my point now. What was I saying?
About colorism, how it makes you feel.
Yeah. So is that not? So say for example, I get colorism more from black people. Do you get what I mean? They're more quick to mention my color than anyone else in the world.
And you can recognize that that's not something that you want. Like, even though it would be seen as a privilege in that people maybe in certain circumstances treat you preferentially because of you being light skinned, you can recognize, okay, but I don't like that. Yeah, that's not how I want the world to work. I don't want to enforce that. Example, I've given this example on the show before. I was out years ago when I was younger with some friends, and they were all dark-skinned women, yeah? One guy moved to me, and then he said, I can tell you're the classy one of the group, yeah? That's him preferring me because I'm light-skinned, or you're the pretty one, da-da-da-da-da. How do you know I'm classy? I'm here too in a small skirt. Me too, I'm here in a small skirt. Don't ever try and move to me by bringing down another woman.
What colour was he?
He was actually Asian. Don't try and bring down another woman by moving to me. So that, in that circumstance, is me doing what you're saying, as in like, okay, I can see that this is benefiting me, but I don't like that. I'm not standing for this. This is not running.
Definition of colorism, so you're aware. Prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Another definition, prejudice or discrimination, especially with a racial or ethnic group favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin.
Nah, but
do you understand?
you finished the quote.
Yes.
I'm not teaching my kids that, man. I don't want them to go into society knowing that they could be treated a certain way because they're a darker shade. I'd rather them not know, find out for themselves, and turn a blind eye to it. Because me knowing that, for example, my friend Gabriel, he says there's certain things he can't get because he's black. I don't want my kids to go into any sort of function or anywhere thinking I might get treated a certain way because I'm not a lighter shade. And all my children, they're all different shades. So my younger children might get treated different to my older children because of their shade. I'd rather them nobody know nothing and just go into the world not knowing, and just that when it does happen or if it does happen, they're like, oh, how come I got? Oh, maybe because I'm overweight, or maybe because my shoe size is too big, not because of my skin. No, I'd rather them not know that.
So you'd only educate them if it happens and they come and they say, Dad, this experience happened, and then you be like, all right, this is why it happened.
Yeah, I'd rather that, personally. I'm more of a practical learner, if that makes sense.
And that applies to everything else, every other possible danger or pitfall that exists out there. You want them to find out first and then come back. You want to keep them innocent, so to speak.
Yeah, man. Because I always say, like, for example, like the blue pill, red pill stuff, the Matrix. I'm so privy to all the information about gangs, and I always say it on other podcasts as well. Like, for example, a red bandana and a blue bandana. I know what that means in certain areas. The middle-aged white lady doesn't know what a red bandana means or blue bandana means. She just sees it as a bandana. She doesn't see the color to it. Does that make sense?
Do you equip your daughter with any information about the opposite sex?
100%.
Interesting.
I take her to places high end. I show her about high end shoes that I buy. She's been in fast cars, nice cars. She's been in luxurious holidays. I say, don't let these things cloud your judgment of the person you want to be with or be around. Because a man can have money, a man could spend money on you frivolously, but his meanings behind it are not nice. So I'll show her all these things now. So like, for example...
Even before she's experienced it?
Yeah, because when she goes on dates, for example, when she's older, let's say a man takes her to a high-end restaurant. A child that doesn't know enough about that might think, oh my God, he spent, let's say, £100 on me. That means he must really like me. Whereas I'm like, listen, Shy, these things are normal. Don't let this cloud your judgment on the person you want to be with later down because they spent money on you.
I like that approach, but it says that you're selective with what it is that you look to educate them on before they've experienced it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I am definitely.
Yeah. Because you even mentioned down to like weights. You know, you said, oh, my kid might go out and then think, oh, it's because I'm overweight. That's why they're making fun. Even that's something you might have to equip your kid with.
Yeah,
Or
but they
if your
can
kid
change
had-
that. They can't change the color of this. Well, they can change the color of their skin. But them other attributes you can change. If you're overweight, you can get skinnier. If you're skinnier, you can put on weight. If you're a darker shade, obviously there's things that you can change your skin with, but we're not going to really go that far, are we?
We hope not.
We hope not. We hope not.
Chinks.
Yeah.
What is the biggest lesson? I hope is it you're not getting engrossed in the chat. I hope you're here with us.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned about being a man that you wish you had known earlier?
Being a man. Let me think. It's a lesson I learned lately, yeah, and like being a man is not because you as like in terms of a family structure and stuff like that, like the man is in terms of traditional, the man is the man who kind of not the person who he's the one who to a degree he asserts the discipline. Do you know what I mean? So he's the one who says certain people can't wear this or can't do that, innit? So in the moment, sometimes a man's not appreciated. Like good men are not appreciated when they're there, but they're missed when they're not. So that's one thing I could say. If that's any good.
Sorry, what was the lesson?
You made me forget it now.
Interesting.
That means that one a good one. Let me think of another one. You know what hit me hard as a man, yeah? One thing, when I was with my my daughter's mum and my daughter, my mindset was that I kind of put everything into them. I wanted to build like a structure for them and put them before me. And then when that broke down, there was no one there for me. So as a man, put your family first and stuff like that, but make sure you have something to fall back on in case it goes wrong. That's one thing I could say.
So you wish you had known that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. And kid,
Sorry, can you ask the question again?
what is the biggest lesson you've learned about being a man that you wish you had known earlier?
Life ain't easy, man. It's not. It's the roles are gonna be different because growing up, I didn't know that I would endeavor on so much different hard trails, if that makes sense. I didn't think that certain things would be a certain way because I'm a man. I found it out later down. Would I want to teach this to my children? Like I said, I don't know. I'm over like Chinks. If my mum said the kettle's hot, I need to see the kettle's hot. I need to touch it myself to see that it's hot. I'd rather, like I said, I've got twins as well, a boy and a girl. So growing them up the exact same, I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I don't even know how to. Because like I said, the legacy I'm trying to leave for my kids. I don't want it to be like me because I was involved in gang stuff, street stuff. But at the same time, I can do both. I can adapt. A lot of my friends that I'm around cannot adapt to situations. They can't code switch at all. Like my the mother of my first two, her partner cannot code switch. When he was speaking to her dad the other day, I was just like, is this for real? Like, he's calling her dad bro, yeah, fam. I'm just like, what? But yeah, that's... Sorry if I lost the point.
Nah, that's good. Last question, because I do know for our thing today again. What is your perspective on self-care for men? Is it necessary or is it overemphasized in today's culture?
When you say self-care, you mean like aesthetically or like mental?
I'm not thinking aesthetically, but please include that if it's important to you.
No, I think maybe this is a complex of being beige. Like that like the light skin narrative, like you're soft and you're a pretty boy and stuff like that. I think I have a complex with that, and I try my hardest to not look pretty and look rough and be rough around the edges and stuff like that. So that whole...
Did you do that today?
That's my lifestyle, really. To be honest, I try and do it every day.
Do you know?
What? Brent, just leave me alone, okay?
Sorry, Dr. Amani.
Well, what's the tea? What's
So
going
basically, he said every single time he steps out of his house, he makes sure that he looks legit, right? And I've asked,
Did he
do
say
that today?
legit? He said he likes to look rough around the edges and not pretty.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're trying to counter what?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
That whole
That's what I was
stigma.
trying to
Yeah.
about why you were. Yeah, okay.
So I heard what he said, but I said the same thing. Has he achieved it?
You're asking us if he looks rough.
Has he achieved it?
Is he look rough?
100%.
He looks how
You
he
look-
looks.
How he
Nailed
looks.
it? Did
That's
he
it,
nail it?
Nailed it.
But he looks how he
He looks
looks.
how he looks.
And I feel like I've seen you several times, like
And it's
online
the same way, yeah?
and in person, and this is your look. So I don't
So
expect.
he's-
I don't. Why are you laughing?
Brent's a nasty piece of work.
No, come on,
Do you understand
No, it's
what-
not. Why is it negative?
To be honest,
It's not negative.
it's not, because
Yeah.
you wanted something achieved, and
And he's achieved it.
based on what they've said, you've achieved it.
And that's kind of
Nah,
my
I
goal.
don't answer the question. I don't answer it.
Because sometimes I'd be like, rah. Like, Gal would say, rah, I saw your hair on that pod. You couldn't get your hair done. I was like, yeah, but I kind of didn't want to.
Yeah.
This is my brand. Like, do you know what I mean? So the whole self-care, men pampering stuff, you can see why I'm anti that to a degree. It sounds a bit homo, but I like my man to be a man. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that part of it. But I think...
Wait. So when you clean up, you look feminine?
No, but so say for example, them man that I get a trim and they get their phone and they're like, and all of that. Like, I think that's a bit, what's the word?
Light skin.
All right. You see what I'm saying? Full circle moment. You know what I mean? And then I think that highlights to me that, like, you feel so good about yourself in that moment because you've got a trim, and it's like, no, I want that feeling all the time, whether I have a haircut or not.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I see what that.
That's
yeah.
decent.
Yeah. So that whole pampering and cucumbers on your eyes and men who do stuff like that, I just think, whoa, like that's not a bit of me. Do you know what I mean?
I'm the complete opposite.
For myself.
I'm on all that. I get my feet done, get my nails
Yeah,
done.
look, my hair does look like Jim Jones under that.
I go steam room and sauna. I'm on all of that.
Yeah, but
I don't like having hair on my body, only on my face. I shave.
because you're not.
I get my missus to shave my back.
Swear.
I hate it.
You're one of them
hate it.
Veet man then.
Yeah, I'm on that. I hate
But
that.
because you don't have the light skin stigma, you're allowed to be that way. Me now, if I do them things, I look at this guy, thinks he's a gal. Like, do you know what I mean? So, but what was the question again?
It was about self-care.
Self-care.
Yeah,
Do you
but like
think it's important?
mental stuff, like reading books and learning and acquiring, what's the word? Being open-minded and not perspective? Not seeing everything from your perspective, but being able to have perception and see things for what it is. Do you get what I mean? So basically, mentally, yeah, read books, educate yourself, and try and be better than you was yesterday. I think, yes, is a necessity for men.
So, from what you said, before I move on to you, kid, you've changed a lot about yourself in order to please others.
What do you mean?
Well, you said you've got no complex.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
in terms of that, yeah.
deliberately decide to unfix yourself each time it is that you go into the world.
But you know what it
You
is?
perceived a particular way.
So
you
because I
lie
hate
to yourself at every single turn, right?
no, but you see them light skinned pretty boys. I hate them as well.
You hate your own people.
No, but because you justify that stigma. Do you get what I mean? And because there's different types of us. And I just want to be, I just want to be separated from them, man. Because I don't like them, man. Do you know what I mean? So maybe it is from the viewpoint of other people, but it's who I am now.
And do you feel comfortable lying to the world?
Lying? What part was the lie?
Come on. Every single time you come out of the house, you put
That was an exaggeration though, but go on.
I'm taking you at your word. You feel comfortable.
I'm entertaining too much, but go on, sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I don't, I'm happy with looking rough. I don't have to look my trim tip-top best all the time.
When do you make an effort? To be honest, you make an effort not to look pretty.
Yeah.
But
like, if I have to make too much of an effort, I'm not going.
what do you mean?
Like, so say for example,
don't attend
he's Mr.
weddings,
Famous, he
no?
gets invited to loads of events.
Yeah.
If I have to wear shoes and like attire like I'm going to a job interview, I'm not going.
Wait, so wearing a shoe and a tie unleashes the light skin pretty thing?
No, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Of me having to get to a level of presentation just to be around some people, I'd rather just not be there if you can't accept me for who I am.
You at the gala. What, you didn't see him?
No, but was he there?
No, he
I'd never
No,
be there.
but you know, in my head, that's what I'm thinking
Yeah,
about. I'm
never. He
thinking
would
about,
never.
so you would never come to something. No.
never.
Because my thing is,
Context,
if that's just the, like, it's not you by yourself, like, everybody's going to be dressed like that.
He don't care.
What you're talking about?
The gala.
Oh. Sorry. Were you invited?
Where, to the gala?
Via me, he would have been.
Now, I could have went, but I wasn't personally invited. No, I'm not that relevant.
So you said no because you didn't want to dress up?
No, I never actually got a direct invitation there, but there's been other events
Question. Focus on the question.
Sorry, what?
Did you say no to the gala because you didn't want to dress up?
Yeah.
Serious?
But I wasn't actually invited, so it's not me saying
doesn't
no.
matter.
But he knew that I was
But
not.
if you got invited, you'd still say no.
Yeah, I don't want to dress
Even
up.
even at the Ned Brent. Chink's gonna go. No way.
So you were
Yeah, but then you
invited
can
to
go
one of
casual.
our stuff and
He
you
wouldn't.
said no
No,
because
you can go casual.
of your insecurities?
No, but I was allowed to dress
You need
normal
drop
to
that.
go there.
This can't happen at all.
What?
This complex can't bleed into TMB stuff.
He looked at the pictures of the previous Ned and said, "I'm not wearing something like that."
Did I do that? I don't even
Yes,
remember.
you did. Remember Margs' shirt?
No, I don't remember. What was wrong with Mark's shirt? What's happening there?
We're not mad with it. But I'm saying it was a
Crazy.
bit flamboyant.
I don't feel comfortable dressing up.
Do you
Have
own
you
trousers?
I think I got a pair from my bus driver days, maybe.
You ain't got a shirt, some shoes.
I got
Navy
one.
blue
I got
ones.
one.
It's crazy.
So if you were going to like a funeral, yeah,
I was gonna go to a funeral the other day that I missed. I was gonna wear black jeans, black Air Forces, and a black like jumper cardigan.
okay, fair.
To be honest,
I
still
mean,
clean.
that's still, yeah.
It's still
But
presentable.
But the jeans are
a
like
wedding,
rips.
have you
Have
ever
you
been
been to a
invited to a wedding? Your
I
friends
don't want to
don't
be
get
around all
married?
that negativity. No.
Have you ever been to a wedding?
When I was a kid years ago, not as an
So
adult.
no one, sorry. So no one in your adult life, like your friends, your peers, no one get married?
Who have I known? Who's been married that I know? No, I don't think so.
And regardless of you not making an effort aesthetically, you've still been collecting women and cheating on them. So this light skin thing hasn't escaped you.
In terms of
I've met the real Brent today. This is crazy.
I'm
Oh,
like
you don't know who he
Nah.
is?
This is first time.
So this is why you see earlier
there's
on,
no-
yeah,
there's
you
no
were like,
real
You see
Brent.
how he was
We've
saying
never
to me,
spoken.
oh,
It's another thing. Let's not.
I was giving Brent aggression.
Oh,
Brent is like, our relationship is like that because he gives as good as he gets.
now I understand. I
So
fully
it's not.
understand.
but he's not doing anything
Nah.
wrong though. I don't feel challenged.
Let's focus on you and your complex. So you've never looked decent. You've never shaved your beard.
No, of course I have. Yeah, I got to
You've
get
never
a good
creamed your
trim.
face.
No, whoa, this is getting to hygiene now. Like,
So this is what we're going to be getting 24/7.
I wear
There's no
jeans.
clothes in your
Brent,
cupboard that
manage your
looks other than this.
expectations.
No, I got jeans and jumpers and stuff.
Have
Just
you,
the
do
whole.
you go raving? Did you used to go raving?
Yeah, but not dress up. Dress up.
When you say dress up, what do you mean? 'Cause
Cardigan. That's a cardigan.
Shoes, trousers, and blazer. I don't own none of them. Maybe I own a pair of trousers. I've got boots. If the shoes don't earn me money, I don't have them.
Yeah.
I have work boots. I have maybe 1 or 2 pair of trousers. I've got jeans. Like casual, what some people would describe as casual would be my formal. Do you get what I mean? So I got like a big collared jumper, a black pair of jeans, and a black pair of trainers. That's the best I can do.
Fair.
But the whole suited and booted, I feel uncomfortable. I genuinely
Does
do.
it not feel authentic or something? That's the vibe I've been getting. Because you keep saying things like, I want people to know me for me. I want to feel good even when I don't, quote unquote, look good. So there's something about authenticity that's important to you.
He said that when he cleans himself up, he looks pretty. And then he's compared to the other pretty light-skinned men. And he doesn't want that. So he makes
Because it was
himself
awful when he was younger to be compared to light skin, quote unquote, pretty.
No, there's nothing wrong with being compared to it. It's just maybe no. You're probably right. There's probably something from my childhood where because I was called pretty boy and stuff like that, and people used to have a go at me about that. So maybe it's something to do with that. But in like those guys who are because prim and pretty and always trying to look their tip top and best and like that, there's a degree of
Yo, wait a minute. Wild. I just clocked. You said your father was Nation of Islam. And your mum is what?
mixed.
She's white.
My mum's not white.
Okay.
You made it sound like your mum was white, though. I thought your mum
When?
was white. Because when he said,
Spanish
where's your mum? You
and
said your
that,
mum's... What did you
English.
say? You said she's English.
Yeah, but my granddad's Chinese
Granddad's,
Jamaican.
yeah.
But so he's
What?
Chinese Jamaican. So
No. Finish it.
he's fair, but he's not white. He's still a black man.
So he's Chinese.
No,
So he's half... Is he half Chinese, half Jamaican?
no,
Stop
he's
saying that.
What
he's
do you mean? Stop
Because
saying that?
I want to
don't
know
what that means.
when he says half Chinese, half Jamaican. Do you mean half Chinese and half black
That's
Jamaican?
what I just
Yeah.
asked.
No, you just said Jamaican.
but
Yeah,
it's
but me
not.
asking
Because you could be
Jamaican
Chinese and Jamaican.
Brother.
Yeah,
knew what I
you're
meant.
right. You're right.
But
No,
you
because
knew what I meant, though, right?
No, I needed to know what he was talking about because I'm communicating with him.
yeah. So my
Sorry.
mum's mixed though.
With Chinese and Spanish.
Portuguese, Spanish.
Sorry, Portuguese what? White, black?
Oh, Madeira. Yes, my grandma looks like a Caucasian lady,
Okay.
but it sounds petty, but there's 1/4 black in there somewhere from on her side.
Is it distinguishable?
No.
So your father, NY,
Yeah.
got with a white woman.
My mum's not white though. She's mixed.
I know you keep saying this, but as we've just ascertained, it's not perceivable.
Because this is the thing though. So is there only black and white?
No, I'm not getting into this because I'm not Emmanuel. I love you.
Oh, but you feel like he broke the rules.
NY.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
And it just dawned on me just now, as it is that you were basically dancing around saying you got a complex. Maybe that's attached to it. Because the type of rhetoric that your father and your father's belief would have been spouting 24/7, it would have been even more evident that you are a product of unholy union.
I never even looked at it in that much depth.
Come on, get me a doctor, get me.
Trying to take a job.
Yeah, you're rubbing up on me.
We need more black men in the industry. So
Let me
go
end
ahead.
this nonsense because this will go on forever. All right. Thank you very much, Chinks and Kid, for opening up your lives a little. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. It started off mad rocky, though.
Appreciate you.
You calling Gina aggressive. It started off rocky. I was getting messages saying, what are these misogynoir peddlers doing on the platform?
Bringing engagement.
No, that's...
So keep spreading.
I'm not farming for engagement. I don't really mind about that. It's about productivity and progress and good wholesome bonding between sexes and whatnot. So no, I'm not for that.
I think they like us now, though. I'm looking through the comments. I think they like us again.
Yeah, when it is you'll stop talking about aggressive women. When I say you, I'm just talking about the guy with the complex. They didn't like that, and they protect their own. You understand?
but
Fiercely.
So, because but this gets back into now. You're gonna wrap up, and it's gonna start a whole new.
I'm not
nonsense.
I'm wrapping up this segment. We're going on to the end of
Okay.
So just get your last point up and then.
So if, of course, like in life, there's generalizations in it. Life works off generalizations in it. So we can't account for each individual person all the time in it. So when we all acknowledge that as a people, like my car insurance generalizes me off my postcode, my age. I can't go, yo, but I'm different. They're not gonna. My premium is my premium. Do you get what I mean? So once we get past the fact that some people generalize, but of course I'm not accounting for every black woman in the world, innit? So if I've experienced, if the woman I've experienced in my life are of a particular, not even shade got to do with it, because I didn't even mention her colour.
But you want to know.
What do you mean? Because that's what they're talking about in terms of the aggressiveness.
This generalization that you were about to tell us, it was leading there, so you can finish that. Even if it is that you didn't mean that before, you were about to lead there now. Isn't
No,
it?
because I'm getting mixed up what I was saying and what they're accusing me of. Because I never once mentioned Gina's colour. Do you get what I mean?
But sometimes it could be subconscious, right?
What? So everybody else, whenever I make a statement based on a characteristic I've experienced from someone, I have to take in fact the colour of what they are first before I express that.
I think it's because you live in a world where these things exist and matter. You know how he said he's not going to empower his daughters with, and sons with certain information because he feels it would hinder their development or discovery. Certain things like this is important for young girls and boys to be taught because they're going to experience it out there and it's going to be very, very traumatic to them. It's peddled 24/7. Everything that they look at, whether it's on TV, whether it's on your phone, it's... And sometimes it's not blatantly labeled. Do you understand?
I hate that though, man. That's making them approach things at a slower speed. Where, say for example, like boxing or something. I take my son boxing and my daughter, obviously my partner's daughter. They're both fair skinned. They're black, but they're fair skinned. So if I would have said to him, "Listen, son, in boxing, it's a white man's sport," he's not gonna want to go boxing. Whereas if I just don't tell him nothing and he goes boxing and gets knocked down or they place him in a different grade or whatever, he won't think it's based on his colour. I'd rather him say to me, "Dad, I didn't make it because of this." And I say, "Okay, but what other people that made it, what they look like?" If he says to me, "Oh, they were, I don't know, some of their cheeks were pink," for example, because he's only 5. Some of their cheeks are pink, their hair was straight. I know that's because there's more Caucasian kids there. I'll be like, "You know what, son? Basically, it's because of, not because of your talent, it's because they're this colour." I'd rather him go in there running instead of tiptoeing and thinking, I won't make it because of my skin colour.
You can have information and still not operate in that way. So he could be aware of something and you, again, that goes back to what I was saying about, okay, control what the narrative in your household, but be aware of the quote unquote enemy.
But what age should I start teaching them that from?
You can do it really young. And I have this conversation, I work with kids, like my NHS job, I do private work and NHS work. My NHS job is with kids. And there was a time when a lot of my referrals were to do, sorry, I don't know if I should do trigger warning, but like sexual abuse. Yeah. And then they were thinking about, okay, but when do I start talking to my kids about sex and all these things? And to be fair, even when there isn't abuse present, I get this about teenagers. Am I meant to talk to them about, yes, from young. And you can do it in an age-appropriate way. You can do everything in an age-appropriate way. You can not refer to their genitals as some like made-up word. Yeah. Say what it is, let them know from young. Just say that's a penis. That's a vagina. No one but mum and dad can touch that. And when you get to a certain age, only you can touch that. And someone has to ask you to be able to touch. And then as they get older and they start, wanting to experiment with certain
I call my
things.
daughter's finger mini-moves. I don't even say that.
And again, you can do what you want in your household, but I think it's important for them to be able to be equipped with knowledge. And that's not to say because you've given them some knowledge, go out there and do whatever. Yeah. It's just so they're like a bit more clued up to be able to go out into the world. So then bringing back to the boxing thing, you don't need to say, oh, this is a white man's sport, so be scared because you're going to be a victim. No. Okay, some people might look at it this way, but that's not how we run. You are a man of talent. You're strong. You can do this and you can pick, you can still put that in them, but still let them know that they've got that maybe thing in the background happening.
History is history, right? Are you saying that you don't look to expose them to things that have happened because you fear that they will fall into the same thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
But wouldn't it also mean if it's still being perpetuated today, they're not prepared?
But is it for them to break the cycle?
And you think that just you not exposing them to what is outside is going to be the catalyst to break the cycle?
I guess it's a start. Because, like I said, I'm just going off my upbringing. My mum and dad didn't mention anything to me about being black in a certain community, in a certain society. I just picked it up myself. And I don't know if it's the right or the wrong thing, but I'm just trying to, obviously, like Taser said before, as a parent, he's winging it. He doesn't really know what to do. Same with me. I don't really know what to do, but I'm just going off my past experiences. And if I could, I'm guessing I probably learned how to be a certain way at a later age, but I'd rather my kids go through life not knowing than knowing. Because if I went through life knowing, I probably wouldn't be here today. Does that make sense?
100%. But for the examples that when you sit down with your daughter and tell her and show her things about the other sex, it's important for you to make sure she knows about that as opposed to finding out herself. Why?
I guess because of her oldest, my youngest daughter, obviously, she's got her older siblings, my partner's children. She knows more about it because she's more exposed to it. Obviously, my daughter's got an iPhone. She's got social media experiences. She knows what's going on. She probably knows more about it than I did at that age. So I've installed it more in my son. I haven't had that talk with my daughter yet, too tough. But my son's having sex already. He was having sex from, I think, like 15 years old. Because I found a condom. I was like, what is this? He's like, Dad, do you know what it is? I was like, so you're having sex? He's like, yeah. I said, but you can't even put the washing machine on. You don't even have to tie your laces properly. What do you mean you're having sex already? Do you know you could have a child and I could be a granddad? Did you know that? He's like, Dad, I know. Hence why I've got the condoms. I'm very careful. I know what's going on. So that was the chat. We had a brief chat. And I think he just knows, like, okay. Like, for example, he does the school run. He picks up the kids from school, his brothers and sisters. I said, do you want to be doing this every day? Because you're doing this to help us out. Do you want to be doing this every single day for the rest of your life? He's like, nah. I said, see the change in your sister's nappy? You don't even have to do that. Imagine doing that now. He's like, nah. I said, you can go out and get lamb chops and chicken and chips every day if you really want to. You can't do that for your children, you know. You didn't learn to use the washing machine. You don't even have to make the bed. There's bare things you don't know how to do that I had to learn from a young age. You don't know how to do that. So imagine, just because you want to have 30 seconds of fun, that could turn into this. He's like, no, you're right. And I'll probably have the same kind of conversation with my daughter. I don't know when, because I still like to think she's my little girl. I don't want her to think that she likes boys. I don't want boys to even go next to her.
Before we go on to the headlines, you don't really think that boxing is a white sport, do you?
Nah, that was just an example.
Yeah, it's hard for me to, like, be in the conversation with you if bad examples are used. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it.
What can I use in another example? I'm just thinking what I'm active with them in now. Because they're so young. Obviously, my older son's he's exposed to it because he knows. My younger kids, there's not really much I do with them that could expose them to that. Because the school they go to, predominantly black kids are there. So if a white child got treated different to a black child, I don't think you'd be able to tell the difference. So if I was to teach him that, I say, look, at school, this white child's going to get treated different because their parents are this way, and you're going to get treated this way because we are this way. I don't know how to instill that in because he's not around that in school.
All right, and just to finish off, you didn't finish what you were saying about the amount of women that you have been exposed to, and you were talking about you calling her aggressive.
Yeah, like, because so say for example, what colour are you?
What colour am I?
Yeah, what colour would you class you at? So you're a black woman, yeah? What colour are you?
Black.
Alright, so I called you aggressive. Did I mention your colour?
No.
Have I called you aggressive?
No.
Are you both the same colour?
No.
Do you know? Okay,
So did the chat bring up the black part, or did I mention it? Do you get what I mean?
Oh, so you're asking where did this start from?
Yeah, because my mum's not a black woman. She's aggressive. Why did I never mentioned your colour at all.
Do you know what I think? I think it's because there is a common narrative of black women being aggressive. So it's like a trigger. Do you know what I mean? It's like a trigger. So
It didn't trigger you, though.
No, but the same way, a trigger for you is the whole light skin thing, right? There's a narrative that light skin, you said it yourself, that light skinned men are deemed as soft and pretty boys and blah, 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 blah. And so even with the thing that the example when you're talking about like recording yourself and he was like, it's a bit light skinned. So it's a trigger. So
Not a trigger, I just don't like it. I don't want to be bracketed with them man there.
Okay. So I guess it's more because
I'm not gonna like lose my mind and stuff, you know what I mean?
I know, but I mean it's just because there is that narrative that like black women are deemed as aggressive. So I think it's just, and I know that you wasn't saying I'm aggressive because I'm black. I didn't think you were. But I also understand how people have picked up on that. Is what I'm saying. I'm aware, and I get why their thought process went there.
Can I ask? So let me ask.
Before you ask that question, what did she do or say that you deemed aggressive?
It was a tone because it happened because you're both speaking at the same time, innit? And your tone was a bit more aggressive than hers, innit? So maybe it was a comparison thing. And from that experience I had with that the lady who gave me a safe environment, I just thought, because I think that conversation was important, I thought that he would respond better to her tone than her tone. Do you get what I mean?
I think so. I think you're saying that with the question.
And plus, from when she entered,
have you heard her use a different tone since you've been here?
Yeah, no, of course.
When
you're talking about being fat, I suppose. I don't know.
How did her tone change?
Only
because I want to understand it, because I haven't perceived it. I can know when she's angry, and her tone for me, like the decibels raise and it becomes a bit sharper, and I would say that, okay, right now something inside you has now caused this particular reaction, right? But since she's been here, the most excitable she's been is when she's buffing me up.
Yeah, so but they didn't see that, did they?
No, but they're used to it though.
No, but I mean before, because from when you came in,
I was all smoked.
you was a bit frosty,
Yeah,
and I was just
but
like, right, like I love Brent, like you can't.
No, but you know what it
he's
is?
so.
It's because you're new here.
Yeah,
You're
and
new
it's
here.
down to that.
Everybody else.
But I
is
don't think
very-
you're aggressive like entirely, and I'm saying you're some mad masculine back. You know, that's not what. That's not.
I know,
Maybe I'm
but I
getting a
guess-
bit too comfortable.
I guess everybody is very used to how I am. Like, if they listen to the pod, they know my personality. Me and Brent going toe to toe is absolutely normal. When Margs is here, me and Margs go toe to toe. Do you get what I mean? Like, it gets heated, it gets very passionate, and that's just, it's me. So I guess some people saying, "Oh, I've never thought Gina's aggressive," so like they don't understand why I accepted it or whatever. It's like it's not me accepting it. It's just more like I know that I have a spicy side to my personality. Like,
Which there's nothing wrong with
and
though.
I'm okay. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't. You saying it didn't make me saying, "Oh, it was interesting," because, like I said, like I know how I am and I know my personality, but it's never been pointed out. If you get what I mean.
And when someone's passive aggressive, how does that display
Oh, but
or
apparently
present
you called
itself?
me masculine too. I didn't know that, but
I don't even. I probably did. I don't know.
yeah.
So, talk to me. Being passive aggressive.
That was career related to the career though. But passive aggressive. I don't have like my own interpretation. I have to go to dictionary, and I can't remember the exact dictionary definition for passive aggressive.
I know, as in how did this display tone wise?
Passive aggressive is like when, like, I'm just gonna relate it to an experience what I think is passive aggressive. So, say for example, there's a lady who may be upset with me, and she's not being how she typically would be with me, as in like, I don't know, what's the, like, as open and calm with me and how our relationship usually is. But then there's clearly something wrong, and then I may ask her what's wrong, and she's like, no, there's nothing. That's what I would feel.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to get at is how she communicates to you in the tone that Gina was deemed aggressive. Is that the same type of vibration, or is it
The only reason.
reduced, like how gentle she was speaking? Can you speak like how you perceive her to speak and be aggressive?
Can I speak how she speaks?
Can
and
she speak?
Yeah, because
and
then
can
your
you
words
get
can be your words can be still
All right.
aggressive with a nice tone, of course. Yeah.
All right.
But I think what I'm messed up then. I understand what both of you lot are saying, and I agree with you. But in terms of the comparison of her tone in that moment when I said it and her tone, can you lot understand why I viewed her tone as a bit more aggressive than hers?
Yeah, but this now, I'm trying to connect everything now, right? You told us before certain things you wouldn't look to equip your children with. And sometimes we did say there are things you need to equip them with because it's happening outside here in the world. Dr. Amani sat next to Gina. A lot of people know that there is a difference there. There's a societal perception with them sat down next to each other, right? And when they start talking, especially how Gina is animated in this, that, and the next, it can come across as, to some people, as aggressive. Now, especially when she sat down next to a lighter-skinned woman, it's now, oh my goodness, she might get triggered off the back of that because why are you calling me aggressive for? I'm just talking normally, right? So I say all of that to say I'm not sure if it is that you are aware that what you did was offensive, but you should have been aware that it could be.
Now, you know what? And I think this contributes back to my point of not buying into the race stuff, because now you're saying that that's actually what happened.
It's one of the problems of being colorblind.
No, but I'm viewing, so like to the degree, like I just made that analysis based off what was displayed in the room.
Yep.
Do you get what I mean? I didn't go to the outside world of what everybody else views each other as. But now I'm understanding, because that's generally not what, like my mum is fairer than you and is 15 times more aggressive than her. So I don't.
It was okay for your NY father though, so.
No, it weren't, because they weren't together from my birth. Like, do you get what I'm saying? But I didn't even perceive it that way, and that's I can apologize. That's a fault on my behalf. But I genuinely came in here, we're all human beings. You two are women. You done something that seemed a bit more aggressive than she did at the moment, and I just point that. And let me just ask another question for my own personal growth and not making this mistake again. So let's say hypothetically, so this is a hypothetical scenario, it's not a real life, before anyone gets angry with me. If there is a black woman and she is behaving aggressively...
Which one? You just said that they're not...
No one here, because I don't want to offend anyone or get anyone in the comments.
When you say a black woman, you see both of them as black. So I need more signifiers.
This is why it becomes harder, because then we have to think about like...
Because as much as you don't think shade is a thing,
it is a thing.
Even in the comments, when you were like, you're black and you're black, people are like, yes, they're both black, but you know that there's a significant difference in their appearance. Do you get what I mean?
All right, so let's run two scenarios then. So there's hypothetical, a lighter-skinned black lady and a dark-skinned black lady, yeah? If they're both displaying aggressive things, or behaving aggressively, am I allowed to say it to either of them? Or is only saying it to the light-skinned one because there's not a whole negative connotation around it, but I can't say it about the black woman?
I think you can say whatever you want to say, but know that there are going to be ramifications in you saying that. There's going to be consequences that you have to deal with, and if it is that you don't understand what you've done, it's going to be a very, very long conversation.
And maybe not always consequences, but considerations, right? So there could be, let's say in that scenario, they were both actually, like, you know, objectively, everyone would come to, you've had a jury, you would agree, okay, cool, they will be aggressive. But in that conversation, to get to that conclusion, there'll be different considerations. And one of those things could be, are we perceiving this as aggressive because of a bias? And if that is the case, then that's something that we need to address. Does that make sense? And I think this is why people get really upset with like how all of these conversations start to go, is because it feels harder and there's more things to consider than there might have been X amount of years ago. And that's a lot of hard work to do, because what we're doing is we're actually going against our natural brain's thing to, we want shortcuts all the time. That's how our brain works. Biased, heuristics, that's what we want. Us sitting and having these conversations and being like, okay, we can't act as quickly as what you were saying before, is jarring and effortful, and it's hard work. It doesn't mean it shouldn't be done. It is hard. I'm not saying it's not hard, because we can bring in other intersectionalities of identity as well that I might find harder than someone else. So that could be thinking about sexuality. That might be, I have to do extra thinking because I'm a straight woman. I have to do extra thinking. Is it jarring sometimes? Probably. Is it effortful? Yes. Does it mean I shouldn't do it? No. So
consider it. I like that.
So sorry, because I might have got lost, because she's so...
Bye, please.
I will.
Okay. No.
Oh, bye.
Guys, I have to leave. Go
I've
pay
got,
my
like,
bills.
20 minutes.
See you on Monday.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
So so if someone throw colour out of it, if someone's behaving aggressively, is it okay to say it?
Again, I'm thinking you can say whatever you want to say, but just be mindful, dependent on the scenario.
If I can say what I can say, anyone else can say what they want to say back to me.
I think the beginning of the show, you did the same thing to him. Yeah, they can call our pod rubbish, but I'm still allowed to have my opinion. I'm still affected in a particular way, and I'm watching something I think is crap. I should be allowed to say it's crap. But you still live in a world where your opinion will have
so
you can come to the conclusion that you don't care as well.
No, but I'm
not saying that's what you're doing, but I'm saying
I don't want to offend anyone.
No, of course, and to be honest, from what I've experienced with you guys, I feel like you're a thoughtful person on the whole. Yeah, I'm saying that this is just part of the world that we live in at the moment. You can come to the conclusion that you don't care. You can, but that depends on who you are as a person.
You can know the history.
Yeah.
You can know the effect of the history and say, I don't care anyway. and still run it, or you can be considerate. It's up to you.
That's mad. 'Cause when he called Gino Gossip, I genuinely knew what he meant. I genuinely didn't think of
The whole outside perception of it.
all,
And that's
that at all. But
that's
now
not
you're
what
saying it's just like
it really looks that way. Like that's what I meant. And that's entirely not what I meant. And it's like,
And this is what
sheesh.
happens when it is you go into a world whistling, not knowing about the history of the circumstances you're walking into. Do you understand? You will end up with these particular conversations.
yeah, but then freedom. Then you're not really free to be yourself. Then, isn't it?
No, but we ascertain that you pick and choose what it is that you look to educate your
definitely.
children with,
Yeah.
right? So you're also picking and choosing. Now that we've told you something, it's up to you now whether it is that you want to adhere to it, whether you want to do more research on it, find out more information. There are plenty videos online to educate you on this. And again, you just spoke about the stereotypes of light-skinned black men. Sorry, light-skinned mixed race men. You said it
applies
gave
to
you a
lots of-
complex. It gives dark-skinned black women a complex. You understand it when it's you, right? And you've done what you've done in order to basically present yourself a particular way because you don't want to be perceived like that. You don't want to be looked at like that. So you should be able to understand that, all right, this particular example, all right,
So do you feel like everyone picks and chooses?
everybody.
Yeah. It's gonna be whatever matters to you most in the moment. And all of like our bias change depending on context. Like and our sense of what we belong in terms of a group change on context. So your ideal is a human race. That would be an ideal. But then when you go into the world, you're going to be grouped. So the things or the people that you defend or agree with a bit more will change because you're in a different setting.
And you know what as well, I think like one of like humans' biggest downfalls is conforming. Do you know what I mean? So just conforming to what everybody else and what everybody else dictates is okay. Of course, there's some things that are necessary because you can't be out there just doing anything to any people. But I think just conforming to that and like just letting that narrative still run, I just hate it, man.
But I feel like as well, yeah.
Cut your beard, wear some decent shoes, pattern up.
That's a pattern. I
Well
feel like life.
See, you're holding me accountable, and I appreciate
100%.
that.
You
Do
did
know
say
what
it's
I
a
mean?
masculine trait.
I feel like life should be based off personal experiences, though. So, say for example, like you got the white man, for example, going to a predominantly black area. If he hasn't experienced nothing crazy from the black man, don't have that attitude as all black people are going to rob you or have a knife or have a gun, for example. And then obviously, if he hasn't experienced that, teach that to your kids, teach that to the people around. They haven't experienced it. If someone's experienced it, and they're like, listen, I went to a black area, I got beaten, I got robbed, then you can tell your child that, yo, listen, don't go to the area, I've been beaten, I've been robbed, then maybe they can say, listen, from what I know, my dad went through this, innit? So I don't want to But if it's just hearsay and then you're spreading that rumor everywhere, that's foul. That's me personally.
No, I absolutely agree. I can see where you're coming from, and I wish it was that simple. But you can be influenced and traumatized by something you don't experience.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. I know it's crazy. I'm not saying, but it's crazy. People get what we call vicarious trauma just through watching something. You can become traumatized by it. By hearing something, you become traumatized. You don't actually have to go through something. It's an unfortunate state of the human condition, isn't it?
All right. Can you read?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Or do you-
want to say goodbye to everybody?
No. I can keep. I'm just
All right. I'm
being
just
warning
running
you.
through the headlines.
Oh
and
my
then
bad. Go,
we'll-
go,
We're
go.
really late, innit?
No,
That
don't
says
blame-
8:40.
Blame me. When I heard the colorism thing, obviously, I
Okay.
teaching
So
moment. Wait a minute. Hold up. All right. If you could just run through the headlines, please.
So headlines first story, trigger warning first. Southport child killer Axel Rudakubana, is that right? Sorry if I butchered it. Rudakubana jailed for life with minimum of 52 years. The judge says the judge says, this is really putting me on the spot. The judge says the killings caused shock and revulsion to the whole nation and that Rudakubana would have killed all 26 children if he'd not been able to. The 18-year-old pleaded guilty to murdering Alistair Silva, Aguirre 9, Bebe King 6, and Elsie Stancombe 7 at a Taylor Swift themed dance class. Rudakubana also admitted trying to murder 8 other children, as well as instructor Leon Lucas and businessman John Hayes on 29th of July last year. The judge, Mr. Justice Goose, hilarious name, gave him 13 life sentences, said if Rudakubana had been 18 at the time of the attack, he would have possibly received a whole life term, meaning no possibility of release. He said the killings had caused shock and revulsion to the nation, and Rudakubana would have killed... Whoa. What happened there? Am I reading the same thing? You know you've doubled it here, Brent.
This is not me. This is Emmanuel. Don't mention my name with mistakes.
All right, so let me skip to a bit that's not missing. Alice, Bebe and Elsie were stabbed multiple times in a ferocious attack that lasted 15 minutes. Prosecutors told the court that while in custody, the 18-year-old said, "It's a good thing those children are dead. I'm so glad, I'm so happy." I won't pass judgment, but piece of... U.S. judge temporarily blocks Trump's order to end birthright citizenship. A federal judge in Seattle blocked Donald Trump's administration on Thursday from implementing an executive order curtailing the right to automatic birthright citizenship in the U.S., calling it blatantly unconstitutional. U.S. District Judge John Kuchenauer, at the urging of 4 Democratic-led states, issued a temporary restraining order preventing the administration from enforcing the order, which the Republican president signed on Monday during his first day in office. He's getting to work early, boy. The order has become already the subject of 5 lawsuits by civil rights groups and Democratic attorneys generals from 22 states who called it a flagrant violation to the U.S. Constitution. Under this order, babies born today don't count as U.S. citizens. The Washington Assistant Attorney General Lane Polozola told the judge Kuhemwaya at the start of a hearing in Seattle. Polozola, on behalf of Democratic State Attorneys General from Washington State, Arizona, Illinois, and Oregon, urged the judge to issue a temporary restraining order to prevent the administration from carrying out its key elements of Trump's immigration crackdown. U.S. government workers told the report DEI efforts face consequences. The Trump administration emailed thousands of federal employees on Wednesday, ordering them to report any efforts to disguise diversity initiatives in their agencies or face adverse consequences. The request came after President Donald Trump banned diversity, equity, and inclusion. Oh, that's what DEI stands for. Diversity, equity, and inclusion office programs throughout the government. Emails seen by the BBC directed work to report all facts and circumstances to a new government email addresses within 10 days. Some employees interpret it as a demand to sell out their colleagues to the White House. We really freaked out and overwhelmed. We're really freaked out and overwhelmed, said one employee at the Department of Health and Human Services. The official personnel management, which manages the federal workforce, issued guidance requiring agency heads to send a notice to their staff by 5 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday. It included an email template that many federal staffers ultimately received that night. Some employees, like those at the Treasury Department, got slightly different versions of the email. The Treasury Department email excluded a warning about adverse consequences for not reporting DEI initiatives, according to a copy with the BBC. Time to pay them bills. The Southport killer, Axel Rudakubana, jail for life. Oh, this is the same thing. How many times
did you leave him like that, Brent? Why did you do that?
Yeah, I'm blamed for this, and I'm not going to take up for this. There's another segment with headlines, the last headlines. If you just scroll up, and you could just read the last ones. Or if it is that you want to chime in, sorry, can you read?
No, it goes down to dilemmas,
Ask the
though.
question, man. It's disrespectful. God damn it.
Or is it the new blood centre, that part?
Hold up.
Because it's gone to the dilemma.
Yeah, and you scroll past that. And then, new blood centre in Brixton.
Okay, new blood centre in Brixton opened by sickle cell awareness campaigner. A plaque honouring the life-saving work of the country's first sickle cell nurse counsellor, Dame Elizabeth Anionwu OM, was unveiled at London's newest blood donor centre in the heart of Brixton. The accolade recognises Dame Elizabeth's lifelong commitment to improving the care of people living with sickle cell disease and thalassemia, and heralds a new phase in the... I only know thalassemia because Easy Otherwise, I would have never read that word. Thalassemia and heralds a new phase in NHS blood and transplant drive to recruit more black heritage blood donors from across South London. Developed in collaboration with community leaders, local businesses and residents, and allocated on the main shopping artery, Brixton's first ever permanent blood donor centre has been specifically designed to welcome the local community to give blood, creating a friendly, comfortable community environment. Number 2, Gabon heads for April 12 presidential polls in a bid to end military rule. Gabon's Council of Ministers announced that presidential elections would be held on April 12, ending the military rule that began with a coup in 2023. A ministerial cabinet meeting minutes confirmed the scheduling of the presidential election. Under the terms of this decree, the Electoral College is convened for Saturday, 12th of April 2025. The minutes of Wednesday's night's meeting read, Gabon's interim president, Brice Oligui Nguema, seized power in a coup, the 8th in the West and Central Africa between 2020 and 2023, that ended the long-standing rule of his predecessor, Ali Bongo, and his family over the oil-rich but impoverished nation. In November, Gabon voted yes in a referendum on a new constitution, delivering a promise by the military coup leaders to take steps forward, restoring constitutional rule. The new constitution provides for a maximum of 2 7-year presidential terms, no prime minister and no dynastic transfer of power. However, some observers fear that the ruling military government may use the process to remain in power. UN chief gangs threatens to seize control of Haiti's capital. Gangs in Haiti could overrun the capital, Port-au-Prince, leading to a complete breakdown of government authority without additional international support for the beleaguered national police. The United Nations chiefs warned. Secretary General Antonio Guterres said in a report released to coincide with a Security Council meeting on Wednesday on the deteriorating situation in the Western Hemisphere's poorest country that time is of the essence. Further delays in providing the police with additional officers for the multinational force trying to curb gang violence or additional assistance carry the risk of catastrophic collapse of the national security institutions, he said. This could allow the gangs to overrun the entire metropolitan area, resulting in a complete breakdown of state authority and rendering international operations, including those to support communities in need in the country, untenable, Gutierrez said. He told the Secretary Council, "We must urgently do everything in our power to prevent such an outcome. Kenya is leading the multinational police force, and 217 additional officers arrived over the weekend, bringing its total deployment to more than 600 below the 1,000 officers the country's president pledged." Football results and fixtures?
Amazing. Hold up, though. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go into the wrap-up.
So today we've discussed...
So we had that so we started with the asking for a friend. We had the dilemma.
Your memory's good. So
Yeah.
that was the lady who couldn't find a man.
The lady that's struggling with dating.
Sorry, well done.
We started with that. We had the headlines. What were the headlines?
The headlines were...
Politician stuff. Politics.
PM vows to curb Nimby legal blocks on infrastructure. Oh, Keir Starmer announced plans to block campaigners from market. Yeah, so Keir Starmer stuff, Miliband, I won't quit, the Heathrow expansion, and the NATO chief stopping Putin will cost trillions if they don't support Ukraine now.
Mm. And I guess we had our topic of the day, or a long conversation. I think we hit on quite a few things. Mm-hmm. You guys really opened up. You know what? I've loved you guys' bromance that they were talking about in the show. Loving it. I've seen the vulnerability. I've seen a bit of accountability there. I've seen some things. Okay.
Yeah, Mrs. just messaged me, said, "Well done, babe. Great talk."
Oh, amazing. And beautiful conversations about family as well. Yeah. So we had a good talk there, speaking about masculinity, but also thinking about Black women's experience in the world. Touched on quite a few topics.
Do you know what? That same thing that you said about the aggressive thing, I've actually looked at it completely different now. Like I didn't,
because now I'm racist, and I didn't know I was.
You've held what you were doing held a bit of a biased, a microaggression, and now it's been raised. You're aware of it, and you can now think about it a little bit more.
Definitely, most definitely.
Because imagine, so lack of knowledge can make you look a certain way, even if you don't mean it.
Yeah.
100%.
Which
Absolutely.
is scary.
And we kind of touched on that, right? It's not always doing something; it's the absence of as well.
So I've got to teach my kids about colorism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to
Accountability.
I got to do a better approach at it, I guess. Not red pill, blue pill. Not that. Can't teach me that.
No, but you think about it and how you want to put it in your household. It's still your household, you know? But now you've got new information. Now you want to do things differently, potentially. Run with it.
Yeah.
All right. Please repeat what your podcast is, both of them, and where they can find you, please.
On YouTube, it's facts only with 3 X's, FAXXX only. On their Instagram, it's FAXX.X because obviously they think it's some pornography stuff only. Kid and Chinks, that's our separate channel that we got going on. Social media wise, I'm Kid or Special K. On Snapchat, I'm Kid_cares because there was one stage I did care. I don't care anymore. Yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell, really.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
No,
And,
thank you, man. Appreciate the invite, and we enjoyed it, man.
That's cool. You guys will be back in the. Let me shut my mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Mani, where can they find you?
Oh, me. I'm on the gram.
All right then.
Dr. Amani Samar, SAMAH. I even forgot how to spell my own name then. And then also TikTok, same thing.
Amazing.
They want you to post the link in the chat.
Oh, okay. Link to what my socials.
I'll put all of the socials in the description
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
also in the first comment on the YouTube. Don't worry about that.
Oh, hey, Eddie. So I just saw someone saying hi to me in the chat.
Yeah. Don't encourage him.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Thank you for this, Brent, man. I appreciate you.
De nada. All right. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We had, I think it topped up at 984 people across all platforms. So
Wow.
cool. See you on. Should I say see you on Monday? Are we having a show on Monday? I'll have to let you guys know in the community. I'll let you know all over socials if we're doing that or not. I told you the beginning of this particular year is going to be stop start because we have a lot of work that we are doing. You guys will hear all about it very, very soon. But thank you and have a fantastic weekend. Bye.